various pew pew noises. Hello and welcome to the dungeon. Dun dun dun. I'm really, really excited and honored to be running the first game here. I'm secretly several hours ahead of the rest of the Dork Tales team, so they're like, Bunny, you should go first because you'll be kind of awake. And they were not quite right, but I'm not quite asleep either, so that should be pretty okay. We're going to do a quick little introduction round, and then we'll get into some details on what this game is, how the rules work, how we're going to start it off here. There are like cool first session activities that we're going to be doing together. But I always like to put myself on the spot and go first. So I will be, hello, hi, I'm Millie. My pronouns are she and her or they and them. I am our dungeon disaster, but I will also be playing Demonica, the hungover lord of the dungeon that y'all work for. Nothing will go horribly awry with that circumstance. I guess her pronouns are probably she and her or they and them. Next to my list of Roni is Kelly.
Hi everybody, I'm very sleepy. It's very early. Hi everybody, I'm Kelly. I use he and him as my pronouns, and today I will be playing Kip the Kobold. Kip is a small disaster kobold who was found in a trash can, hatched, and life has gotten worse since. He is absolutely he's if this were South Park, he'd be the Butters, is all I can think of this party. And they use whatever pronouns are at the bottom of the grease trap in the sink.
I love the idea of you like collecting pronouns from like a secret pronoun vault. Like you're finding them on like random monsters. You're like, what were your pronouns? Those are mine now.
like and they just show up on the screen like Fusro Da. Fey, fur, foul.
This is just super Fey in the first place. Like, tell me your pronouns. They're mine now.
Dun, dun, dun. Speaking of people who are super Fey in the first place, hello, Ravnos. Do you want to tell us your name, hoedown pronouns, and who you're playing?
Hello, everybody. I'm the Ravnos Archon. I use he, him, they, them pronouns. I'll be playing Teddy the Bugbear, who just happens to be a lovable scamp of a monstrous 7-foot-tall creature. But to show that he is very lovable, he has a little Cerberus kitty cat that he holds on his shoulder. The other shoulder is reserved, of course, for Kip, because that is his best friend. The only thing that he wants in the world is a fancy cap with a feather in it, and to not be emboldened to this Demonica harmonica person.
What? It's fine. She's the best boss ever. She's always super late to work.
It's just the harmonica sounds that come out of her mouth make me unpleasant.
What, you don't like the melodious sounds of a harmonica that's definitely not a trumpet?
Definitely not the trumpet.
Because I definitely, as the DM, could find my harmonica. Yeah.
You don't need a harmonica.
Of sounds that are definitely not a trumpet. Hello, Tasha. How are you doing? Do you want to tell us your name, pronouns, your character's name and pronouns too? I'm sorry, you're not a trumpet.
Hello, my name is Natasha. You can find me here on Twitch at Natasha Tuskovich Designs and all over the rest of the internet. Today I am playing, my personal pronouns are she, he, they, any. My character today is Tofana, who is a large salamander, and her pronouns are she, her. Yeah, she's basically just a little bit of kind of a suck up and a brown noser who really likes to talk to everyone and wants the boss to like her.
Aww. Well, that sounds pretty good to me. So, hello, Yamatami. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great over here. So, my name is Dale. Pronouns are he, him. And today I will be playing Mel, the barista, who is happily making sure everyone is as comfortable as possible during our game. And hopefully you all have your cups of coffee or beverages of your choice. If you aren't the hungover mistress who definitely needs her next cup of coffee at any time.
I think you might be the favorite minion. I also forgot we were going to establish that every time anyone says the word barista in this setting, like lightning strikes in the distance and horses whinny. It's like, there we go. Brilliant.
Of course,
Thank you.
I would never serve any beverage that doesn't pass food safe regulation, so it's never going to poison anyone, of course.
Of course. I mean, that would be a little bit too evil, probably.
No, yeah.
The dungeon is all about food safety, 100%.
Food safety and comfort for the cats.
Speaking of food safety and comfort for the cats, I'm sorry for the super awkward random intro. Amancio, how are you doing? Do you want to tell us your hoedown pronouns and about your character too?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah, my name is Amancio. Pronouns are he, they. I'm playing as Rob Berry, an aspiring thief who thought that he could steal from Demonica, but alas, fell victim to the traps inside the dungeon and has returned to life as a skeleton, testing the very same traps that killed him. But the treasure at the heart of the dungeon is still there, and there may be a chance that one day it could enter his now bony, spindly fingers, affectionately referred to as Bones by all that employ him and most that know him. Rob is always scheming while working on these traps.
No, I love Bones so much. Thank you so much for that intro. I really love the concept of Bones, the thief skeleton. I feel like you might need to be best friends with a gelatinous cube.
Yes,
and we may
absolutely.
have to establish
Hubert?
the gelatinous cube as we go. Never mind, I'm adding to my NPC list already. Hubert, they're a vending machine.
Oh my god, I love him.
Vending machine cube. Last
Everything
night we
comes
had a
out
cube with
little bit
googly
better.
eyes on them. Maybe we should add that to this too. Oh, sorry, go again.
I was just going to say everything comes out a little bit burned, a little bit scorched from the acid.
just a little
Wait,
bit.
is it the
singed.
gelatinous
So hang on.
vending machine? Like you just like push the money in and then grab something else?
You
If
try.
I think
The
grab
You gotta be really
you.
quick or you become stock. Yeah. This is going to be really fun. I'm so excited for this. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick run through of how For the Dungeon works and what makes it a little bit different from other sort of Powered by the Apocalypse style games. Because this is the first time, well, this is now the sort of second-ish time I've run it. I ran a test game last night, but the first time I think anyone here has played it. So we're going to do a quick, tiny little overview, and then we'll leap directly into the action. Conveniently, some of the overview we do starts turning into roleplay secretly anyways. You'll be tricked into playing tabletop games with me. Evil harmonica cackling in the distance.
I was not prepared for this.
Bamboozled
Well,
again.
that's fair. This is
Oh,
how
no.
it works. Yeah. So this is a game that works with a... Oh my gosh, your camera went to the moon there. Are you okay?
Might have kicked that just a little bit.
Fair enough. Your camera knows what it did. So this is a game that works with a bit of a conversational flow. We're not super beholden to like turns and rules and that sort of thing. It's very improv-y in style. And that means sort of as players, they'll be asking you to like, look for danger, fun, the unknown, dying horribly, all of that stuff. And then rushing into it to dramatically, just because that's the cool and fun thing to do. I'll do my best to like fill the world with life and intrigue and nonsense. This is very much a comedy game. And we'll be running it to like, I don't know, we'll see where we go. I don't have a specific plot in mind for this. It's going to be total mayhem that we invent together, and we'll probably come up with a completely ridiculous story as a crew here. So the one thing that's probably important to know is that there are rules, but the rules in this sort of support the fiction more than the fiction coming out of those rules. So like in D&D, you have turns, you do this much damage, and then you're like, haha, what does it look like? In this, you tell us what it looks like, and then we go, hey, that kind of sounds like a move. You're trying to convince the goblin to give you his bread. That feels like you're tricking him because you're lying to him about this. So let's see how that goes. Here's where randomness comes in. Oh, hang on. Imagine randomly coughing and sneezing all the time. Couldn't be me. But it's pretty simple and straightforward. There are only a very small number of moves that you need to know, and also you don't really need to know them. That's part of my job, is to try to say, hey, it sounds a little bit like you're doing a thing that could be a role here, so it shouldn't be too much for you. Each of your characters have like some specific traits. This is stuff like a cool special talent, like maybe they can breathe fire. Stuff like a cool tool, like maybe they have a giant collection of kitchen gadgets, and a motivation that drives them. These are your traits. Scene traits exist too, and I will always do my best to communicate what those scene traits are. I'm going to type them in our shared little group chat here because they're also quite important. Because on occasion, when you trigger a move, you need to make a dice roll. So the way the dice rolls work in this system is that you're going to take however many traits feel appropriate to it. So, if it's raining unicorns and you're like, you know what, I kind of want to climb the giant pile of raining unicorns to get to the top of that cool tower, that trait feels appropriate, as well as your motivation to climb tall things or any of that sort of stuff. You count how many of those things feel on point. That's how many d6s you roll. Oh, I hear super dramatic dice noises. Goodness. So you roll as many d6s as there are like relevant traits. You take only the highest ones. Only the highest one matters, except if you fail, in which case things can get a little bit more dramatic, and we'll get there as we get there. Typically, it's a little bit Powered by the Apocalypse-y. If you roll a 6, that's usually a success. If you roll a 5 or 4, it's sort of a success, a cost, or a complication. And rolling a 3 is typically bad. Sometimes really bad if you also rolled some 1s. That's how you botch. But if you botch, you get lessons learned. And we'll start with some lessons learned very, very shortly here as well, because you actually get to establish one as the game gets going here. Lethality and like taking damage in the system is quite, I like it. It's very risky. but in a way where you're really not going to die, but it feels like you're always going to die. So you have harm. Whenever you take harm, you just take a harm, but then you're going to roll against it. So if you get stabbed by a ghost with a cool ghost knife, and you take a harm for that, you're going to roll a d6, and hopefully you don't roll a 1 or you don't roll equal or less than to your harm. If you do, you die. Or you don't if you have zeal left. And then you can spend that zeal to just keep going with your cool, like, zealous support of the dungeon. Zeal does not replenish, except for some stuff in an alternate rule set. So typically you want to hold on to all of that sort of stuff. You can also spend it to ensure that one of your dice is a success on a roll if you're, like, really determined to make something happen. This is your inspiration. This is your lifeline. Zeal is very important, but you only got 5 of it ever. Done. Yeah, there's also, like, dungeon actions. We're going to start the game with those. These are things that we come up with as a group that happen all together, and then a bunch of DM moves and that sort of thing. Does that all kind of make sense so far? Awesome. Then we should probably establish our various nefarious beings here. So one of the very first things that we would do together here is establish who our villain is. And I have notes on this somewhere, but I have lost it specifically. So I'm going to have to bullshit this, I think, because we sort of discussed this a little bit before. But so the villain who leads this dungeon is Demonica. She's like a probably ex-princess somewhere down the line of a big fancy noble kingdom. She's been excommunicated for her vile experiments and terrible taste in music. Her goal is to, like, burn down the kingdom and get revenge and, like, expose them for the frauds and the garbage people that they are, because this world cannot stand on its own. It's shitty. It needs some cool, strong, hungover lady to lead it, probably. And I think that her motivation is, like, feeling vulnerable and getting revenge. She hated feeling vulnerable. So she wants to strike back at them. Oh, I see a finger up.
Can she be getting revenge on King Lou Bega?
King Lou Bega, done. Hang on, adding that to the NPC list here. Lou Bega.
For having a little bit of Demonica.
Yeah, that sounds great.
In his life?
King Lou Bega. Too much Demonica in his life.
Yeah.
And refusing, absolutely. To put
refusing to have
6.
sufficient Demonica. Yeah.
It is the prophecy. There will be a 6th Mambo.
Yeah. Who stops after only 5, honestly?
Wait, so then maybe Demonica's goal is to, like, bring about the final Mamba.
The final Mambo, not the final Mamba. That's a snake.
Right, Mambo.
Then
right.
again,
that makes a bit more sense. The final
Black
snake could be
Mambo.
interesting, though. Ooh. The final Mambo. Ba-dun-dun-dun. Okay, awesome. So the very, very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to flesh out the world a little bit. Oh my gosh, I keep almost sneezing together. It's allergy season over here for me. So the way that we do this is that we have a whole bunch of, like, between scene kind of things that would typically, like, happen between games or between long periods of downtime. But we're just going to do all of them together at once to cause a bunch of chaos. And we're going to establish who your characters are, how they got into the service of the dungeon, and all of that stuff too. Are you all cool if we go ahead in the same order that we were before and start doing a bunch of nefarious improv things? I'm going to be asking you some deeply evil and personal questions about your characters here. Done.
All right.
All right. So starting with Kelly, because I like putting you on the spot, and you're also kind of adorable with a little mask on. Could you tell us a little bit about how you came into Demonica's service, or some kind of other defining experience that you had?
Kip hatched in the dungeon. He doesn't know where he's
Hatched
from.
in the dungeon?
He was found. He got looted from some other place and woke up in the refuse bin in the dungeon, and then immediately started working like a drone ant, just like from day one. Because kobolds are, when they hatch, they are, completely able of taking care of themselves for the most part, except for Kip, who's not very good at taking care of himself. But he immediately just started, like, doing dishes and, like, running around and breaking things at a young age.
That sounds
much like me.
beautiful and wonderful.
I'm not actually role playing.
I have a question for you then too. Are you the only kobold, or is there, like, a horde of kobolds in the dungeon?
I think that I think that there are a bunch of lizard people. I think he's the only kobold because he's imprinting incorrectly. He's definitely a swan surrounded by ducks, or a duck surrounded by swans, or a goose surrounded by canaries.
It's really hard to say in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, next I have one more nefarious question for you. Could you tell me something that went horribly wrong for in their past there? And then we're going to talk about adding experience to your sheet after you tell me this little story.
So on Evil Overlord's Day, which of course happens like several times a month, he was supposed to deliver breakfast in bed to Demonica, and he did. The bed got all of the breakfast. The bed got all of it. Demonica got some, mostly on her nice Evil Overlord sleepwear. And for that, he was forced to clean the entire dungeon level with either a toothbrush or his tongue. He's not going to say. It was
Oh,
a
no.
bad experience.
You're not going to say it, but you're going to communicate in different ways.
Yeah.
All right.
This makes me feel like your tongue has bristles on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add that to my sheet.
You're
On
sort
the
of like
bristles.
one of those like scruffly brushes that you use to get like the really difficult bits off of a dish, just like with your face though. You're just like scrumble,
So,
scrumble,
and the-
scrumble.
the-
and then
the
you get like a
chat-
sheet for the soft sides.
Fair. I think so. The chat has said that everybody has water or fire breath. No one has water breath. I think that's how he cleaned the dungeon. He has water breath.
Oh, I love water breath. That's a really fun concept.
He's power wash Kobold Simulator.
So, the way that this is secretly working mechanically is that this is something that you've botched in the past. This is going to be something you'll add as experience to your sheet. And you can actually use that in future roles. We'll talk a little bit about that as we get into future roles. But you can mark down like what kind of lesson you learned from that.
Mm-hmm. What kind of lesson did I learn from that?
I mean, it could just be don't spill food on Demonica. Like,
Don't fill. That sounds like the perfect lesson. Don't spill things.
on evil overlords. Fair enough. I feel like she was
on.
probably quite hungover at that point, so not too annoyed about it, but did make you clean it up.
Really, I was thinking there was some soup involved, and that might have woke her up real quick.
Oh yes, never mind.
Or
You're lucky
breakfast
to be
in bed
alive.
does not mean breakfast on bed.
Yes.
You know, your
Bet.
standard breakfast soup.
Yeah.
Breakfast soup.
soups.
I
like
mean,
you
of
have.
course.
And of course, it's one of those cold soups too.
Oh, it was gazpacho. Yeah, just breakfast gazpacho.
Breakfast
Everybody wants breakfast
right.
gazpacho.
I mean, everyone evil wants breakfast gazpacho, so that's pretty valid. Speaking of breakfast gazpacho, Ravnos, you feel like doing the same stuff here, telling us a little bit about how Teddy got into the service of Demonica and then something that went horribly wrong.
Sure. Teddy comes from a big line of massive bugbears. Unfortunately, he is the runt of the family. And because of such a small genetic mishap that happened in his growing up stage, he was kicked out of his tribe. And so he found the mewling cries of the little Cerberus kitty that he has. And that is what hooked him into the dungeon. Unfortunately, to take care of the cat, I have to be in the Harmonica's employment. But I got to make a best friend out of it and keep, and so it is not so bad anymore.
Aw, that's really cute. So how did it get not cute? What went horribly wrong for you?
I want to say that because Teddy is bigger than most of the dungeon people, he is pretty. What's the word that they use? He's big for nothing, so he lumbers about. I think that maybe it wasn't Kip's fault that he spilled something on Demonica, but it might have been Teddy instead. Because although he is lumbering, he does want to help, especially if Kip is involved. But help can become much more dangerous when Teddy is involved.
Aw. Did you like, I don't know, did you prepare the tray? Did you cause the floor to quake a little bit as you were peeking around the corner?
I think I
and
might
tip
have
the
stepped
floorboards?
on Kip tail.
Oh, all right. So what kind
now-
of lesson did Teddy learn from this? What can we put
Keep a
under
distance.
experience there?
Always stay at arm's length. Unless
Okay,
invited.
sounds good. So hopefully you're able to put that in the editable character sheet thing, so we have it, because that's something you can pull on for roles later. I don't have a good segue for this one. I was going to say, speaking of roles later, but that's a terrible thing to randomly say instead of like talking to you. So hi, Tasha. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how Tabletop got into Demonica's service, and then something that went horribly, horribly wrong for her.
All right, so
I shouldn't be allowed to say words.
We'll allow it for now.
Appreciate
I feel like Tafana probably applied for this job a couple years ago, and she's been gradually trying to work her way up the career ladder such that it is for minions in this dungeon. Yeah, she probably something that went really wrong would have been probably early when she started basically just kind of being a little too gung-ho about something and diving into some sort of project that really actually made things worse. Like, oh, I'm going to clean this entire room and get rid of all this nonsense that's around here. And it's like, oh, actually, those were all the traps we had set up for the adventurers coming through later today. That's not really actually. You should probably leave now.
So did you disarm the traps?
Yes, definitely. I cleaned the entire room, and it was pristine and beautiful and sparkling and shiny. And there were no functioning traps left. There was just a nice, easy route right on through that room to the treasure.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So what did Tofana learn from this?
To make sure that she talks to everyone first before doing anything. And yeah, don't worry, she will talk to everyone about everything now.
Excellent. I'm excited.
She knows everything that's going on in
to
the
everyone about everything. Hey, Dale, how you doing? Do you want to tell us about how Mel got into Demonica's devious service?
Of course.
And then also something that went horribly wrong.
So Mel used to be a resident of the little town nearby called Gilmore. Unfortunately, he was the only town alchemist, but his main passion led towards beverage making, particularly that of the caffeinated kind. And he was presenting a wonderful drink to the local mayor, Lord Gilroy Silvo, who he, of course, despised and didn't like because he's a stuck-up aristocrat, and decided to have some fun in the beverages he presented, which happened to cause the local latrines to be overflowed and possibly radioactive. So he was run out of town. Of course, he left of his own volition and found himself in Demonica's dungeon, where he saw the beautiful lady suffering from an unfortunate hangover, which he, of course, had to brew her a wonderful drink to make sure that she recovered quickly. And found that he much preferred living around bugbears and kobolds and skeletons and stuff, and decided they were much more pleasant than the humans in the town. And
that's really delightful.
Just decided to stay without asking permission, just continues to make coffee and drinks for people, and occasionally experiments with the dungeon
move in and set up a
vegetation.
cafe in like a random room.
It's not a random room. It's make sure you need to collect some kind of income to buy the ingredients, and
it's the coffee room.
Some people have to pay or get looted when they're passed out. That's okay.
Understandable. So what went horribly wrong for Mel recently?
Well, nothing ever goes horribly wrong, but sometimes the glassware doesn't get cleaned properly, and there's some cross-contamination.
Oh no.
Which, of course, did never, ever, of course, cause any of the dungeon residents to have unfortunate stomach issues.
So did you poison the dungeon with poop juice?
I will not say. That would be inconvenient and might embarrass some of our residents, particularly the lizard folk.
Of course. So what did Mel learn from this?
Don't ask Kip to help clean the dishes.
All right. Dish cleanliness. Sounds good. Speaking of clean dish, I'm not going to do that one. All right, Amancio.
Oh, wow.
Tell us a little bit about how Rob and or Bones got into Demonica's service, and then something that went horribly wrong.
Well, Rob stumbled in a little unwillingly. There's said to be a great treasure at the heart of Demonica's dungeon, maybe even the harmonica. And so in the search for this great treasure, Rob, an aspiring thief, was sneaking around, but didn't quite pay close enough attention to the traps and passed on to the next life, but was quickly or shortly thereafter brought back into Demonica's service as a reanimated skeleton who now performs routine maintenance on all of the traps that are in Demonica's dungeon.
I love that a lot. I'm really picturing like that Indiana Jones scene where he's like coming through the hallway and the spears come out and there's like a skeleton on there, but it's just like Bones. He's like, hello, this trap is working.
I'll up to come, boss.
Have you been to the cafe? Make sure you go there before you're eaten by kobolds.
Yeah, Bones has no problems with the laxative coffee. You know, it's not something that skeletons have to worry about. So
I mean, of course.
they help with the shifts. They help make the shifts go by fast.
It goes right through
Well,
you.
Exactly.
speaking of things that you do have to worry about, what has gone wrong for Bones recently?
Well, I think when the traps were all disarmed, creating a route directly to the heart of the dungeon or directly through the room, Bones had to quickly go in and patch up the traps and make sure were all working up to standard. And of course, the traps are expertly calibrated, maybe even magically enchanted to ensure that Demonica will never, ever set them off. However, Bones got a little bit peckish on the job and made a quick trip over to Cubert, the gelatinous cube vending machine, and acquiring his snack, he heard a yelp from the other room. And rushing back in, it looks like some of the spikes in the floor had come up through Demonica's cloak and absolutely ruined her favorite cloak. And Bones was definitely reprimanded. There was a lot of toilet cleaning for Bones after that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Bones is lucky to be unalive.
Yes, exactly. lucky to be still reanimated, not unreanimated.
I love how all of these have turned into like ways you've inconvenienced your poor total garbage overlord. Okay, I grab some water. One moment.
Well, how else are you going to screw this up?
I mean, I think that's pretty fair. Okay, awesome. So thank you very much. I think that's actually helped build out the world quite a bit as well. I'm making a bunch of notes on what you're saying, so we'll be able to come back to that stuff. I really love the harmonica being the dramatic treasure in the middle of the dungeon, but that it's also just like a weird bugle. We'll see. They just named the harmonica. This is a really weird Dwarf Fortress game. Don't worry about it.
This is just a regular trumpet. Why is it called a harmonica?
Because it's magic. I don't know what the magic does either. Don't ask me.
That checks out.
Yeah.
The magic of fiendship.
Speaking of things to check out that I don't know what they do either. So we're going to start this off by fleshing out the world outside of the dungeon a little bit. So we do this by doing the in-between scenes one time each, like as a group. So the first one there is that we're going to go raid a village. This could very well be the village we established earlier, Gillimore. It could be a fun one to go and raid. The way that this works is that all of you will gain one shiny. And you'll have notoriety. So we'll have to keep track of that here. This is going to go up by 1. And then I guess like how does this go? Are you raiding that village? Are you raiding a different village? Are we going to Gillimore, or is the dungeon going somewhere else? This is like a whole dungeon operation. It's not just you. I mean, it could just be you. Where does the dungeon go? Who do they raid?
I'm always happy to go back to visit Gillimore.
Yeah, sounds good.
As long
What
as
is Gillimore like, other than caffeinated,
It
or
is
I guess no longer caffeinated?
It is a water park.
It's a water park. Ooh.
Well, it is built along a river, so yeah, they might they're utilizing a little water park there. Help with the hot summer heat. It's a little tourist attraction.
I have an important question. Was this a raid or was this a vacation that's just being interpreted as a raid? Or is this like a dungeon
raid
stay
that's
off?
turning into a vacation.
Or
I
is
think.
it a raid that's being interpreted as a vacation?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
could be. Where it's a raid, but for all of the minions, it's like, ooh, water park.
Ooh.
Ah.
We
Well,
can
that
get the
sounds great
raid
to
done
me.
in time. Don't worry about it. So that's not fun. Guys, we
We
have
need
to do
to
the
steal
raid
their
first.
fun. What are you talking about?
I mean, of
out of
course,
the
of
water.
course.
And I'm sure Teddy would love to get a quick bath and sunbathe in, right?
Oh yes, Teddy has to test the structural integrity of the slide.
Won't you all have jobs to do right now?
Did the
Yes.
slide have structural integrity?
I need to do another test run just to be safe. It felt a little wobbly on the first turn.
I swear to God, you've tested it enough.
I can take a look at it. I can tighten all the bolts.
This doesn't require
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Sometimes I use Bones and I put him on top of me just to test the weight limit. Come on, Bones, let's go.
Where's their manager?
Just carry me up the slide. I
Manager's,
don't weigh
like,
that much.
cowering in the river, hiding under a boat. Just
Think I'm going to need to go
Fleeing in
visit their
abject
concession
terror.
stand to get some ingredients.
Yep.
oh
Kip is
yeah,
poking
you
the
can
bow
raid
with a
as much stuff as you want. Yeah. So mechanically, for this raid that's also vacation, somehow all of you are going to come away with one shiny. Shiny is sort of the representation of like cool items and things that you have. You started with 3 of them. Depending on the perks you've taken, you might have started with 6 if you're a hoarder. And these things you can turn into cool items. This is my secret segue into discussing items because these you get to use like traits. There are things that are mundane items. This is stuff that doesn't actually really count as a trait, but it's something that can like help you in the narrative. This is like having a ladder or like a cool cooking pot or something like that. If it's not like on your tools already, but you're like, I also kind of want a weird hat. That's one shiny. Minor items are stuff like a fancy magic sword, something that you can use once. This does count as a trait mechanically, but it's only like a one-time use kind of item. And then a major item costs 4 shinies, and those are things like a megaphone that can be heard by everyone in the world, that kind of thing. That's a pretty fancy kind of item. You can probably use it multiple times until it explodes. Don't worry about it. So you're welcome to just invent these items. They're just sort of in that general category. You can sort of pull them out of your hat as far as I'm concerned, especially if you have hoarder, that's like the mechanic. But you just know that that's what shiny is. It turns into cool items. It's also your money. It's the giant pile of shiny things that you possess.
So we all have 4 shinies now, so we can all have a giant megaphone, is what you're saying.
I promise not to make fart noises into
Yes.
the megaphone.
You could
I'm
all go
taking
to the
a-
cool dungeon store and purchase a megaphone that can be heard by
Just
everyone
wanted
in the
to
world.
clarify.
Yes. Or like a giant wizard cloak or something like that. You've got the technology.
Oh, 4 kobolds in a cloak.
Could be. And
taking
speaking
a
of kobolds
cloak.
in a cloak. Oh, wait, hang on. Go ahead.
I'm taking the cloak and I'm taking some stilts.
Cloak and stilts. Ooh, I like. Oh gosh, stilts. That's really funny. Are you just gonna pretend to be like a dude?
Sometimes.
I love this. That's great. Speaking of things that I love, the dungeon is also doing a little bit of a shigamanan at some point in the recent past because the dungeon as a whole, by which I mean probably mostly Demonica, is going to meddle with magic. Dun. And what this means is that the dungeon has some kind of a magic effect that they're trying to accomplish as a crew. And this is up to us as a group to decide what that magic effect is. So what was the dungeon recently trying to do cool magic to do?
Summon demons. It's always summoning demons, right?
Summoning demons? Was it for like a cool party?
Yeah, it was literally just like, for the holidays. Demonica
The
was trying
traditional
to
demon summoning.
I
You know,
think
Christmas
Demonica was
party,
trying to
Christmas
like
party.
have her sister visit.
No, that sounds good. It was like a family reunion. Oh, hang on. Go ahead.
I was going to suggest perhaps Demonica is so unfond of her staff that instead of staffing the staff party with her real staff, she decided to staff the party with demons. And
It's definitely marketed as giving you all a day off, though.
Yes,
It's an
yes,
axe party, like we're all being fired, kind of thing.
She was not embarrassed by us at all.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay, so then who wants to take the lead on this? Because there's a dice roll that needs to happen here. Whoever says me gets it.
Me.
You, all right. Roll me a d6.
My
See
dice
how
are
well this
rolling
works for the
horrible.
dungeon.
4.
Got a 4. Okay, so in order to make this happen, you require a mysterious component. I think you need to find the scrolls of what was the name of that soup earlier?
Gazpacho?
Gazpacho?
Gabagool.
The breakfast gazpacho?
I like
You must find the
gabagool.
scroll.
Yeah, the breakfast gabagool.
Scrolls of the breakfast
By scrolls, of course, you mean the
Mm-hmm.
recipe?
to summon. Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, demons for the staff party. So the dungeon is unfortunately unable to do this yet until you find this one mysterious item, this ancient, terrifying relic, the scrolls of breakfast gabagool. Perfect. The dungeon has also recently sent out a scouting party. So the way that this works is that the crew comes up with a single word prompt to give me something to run with, and then rolls a d6. And then we'll see how this goes. This one will always give you something, but sometimes it's terrible.
What kind of word do you want?
Anything. One word.
Flooded.
It could be like flooded. Ooh, okay. Roll a d6, Kelly.
5. That's
Got a
some flood.
5. It's going to reveal a new opportunity nearby. It's a good flood-related opportunity. Okay, I think there's a swamp. So hang on. So let's say that there is a swamp not too far away from Gillimore. And the swamp beasts there are looking for assistance on invading the town because they would like access to the water park, but the town won't let them in. And they're offering the dungeon quite a bit of shinies for their assistance.
I'll happily make them potions of haste.
Ooh, sounds good.
Which basically is just massive energy drink.
Man, I really want a potion of haste right now.
It's a triple espresso.
I can give you
right?
some.
I guess that they're specifically offering swamp shinies.
Just put it through. Yeah. Yep, just put it through the screen. The water park is going to get the town killed.
Yeah,
Chad's
Blue
right.
Buffalo
Could be,
gives
could
you
be.
wings.
The water park is almost
Let's
certainly going to get the town killed.
reroute the water park to run on potions of haste.
Yes.
Speaking of getting the town killed, after doing this, we do need to roll on your notoriety, just in case you roll a 1, because then something happens. Who wants to do that roll?
I can.
Let's go for it.
Do it.
All right.
1.
It's a 2.
Dang it. Okay, that's fine. Nothing happens. Carry on. What this is because of the rate of village. So whenever your notoriety changes, that sort of thing, you roll on it just like harm. And if you roll equal to or less than it, an adventurer appears, which is deeply unfortunate for all of you because those guys are jerks. Just complete absolute jerks. Okay, so it sounds like we've got the quest to acquire the scrolls of the breakfast gabagool, and a bunch of swamp beasts that want access to the water park offering swamp shinies in exchange. I wonder if perhaps they know where to find the scrolls of the breakfast gabagool. Dun. Well, could be. But why don't we find out? So Demonica is going to summon all of you to her dramatic throne room. She is sitting sprawled across her throne of bones, somewhat awkward for you bones. Sort of like the Skyrim style Thane, but she's clearly just asleep. She's wearing massive sunglasses across her face and is snoring loudly. As you enter the throne room, a lizard folk will poke her and she'll startle herself awake and go, "Greetings, minions. How does this darkest of..." Awkwardly looks out the window for a sundial. "Mornings find you."
It's pretty good so far. Can't complain.
Feeling
Beautiful.
good.
Very good.
But like in a dark and spooky manner.
How is your
Right.
morning
Yeah.
going so far? I know you had a late night last night. Are you feeling
Would you
okay?
like another cup of coffee?
Yeah, super spooky coffee.
Goodness, yes.
Mhm.
I would kill any of you for a cup of coffee.
Yep.
Well, that's not needed. It's already brewed.
Oh, much better. It's good because I do need you for something. She will wait patiently for the coffee to arrive and will just make you awkwardly wait in her dramatic throne room. I think some lizard folks are going to sort of awkwardly try to play harmonica music, but like ominously in the background. It really just is not quite working with harmonicas. But you know, they're doing their best.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like the Imperial March, but like through your nose. Yeah.
I'm just gonna point at the chair. Bones, that could have been you, man. Like you dodged the bullet there.
I've dodged a couple bullets in my time, mostly as a skeleton.
And
I
also
wasn't so
didn't
good
dodge a
before.
couple.
You hear the lizard folk bickering amongst themselves. Does it really count as dodging if it just goes right through them? I don't know. It's really complicated. You gotta think about the physics of the circumstance. Like, where is his center mass right now?
Parkour.
They're doing math. She'll take a big dramatic swig of her coffee, then point out towards you with one dramatic finger. So the water park. That was pretty nice, actually. We should go back there sometime. Speaking of going back there sometime, the various swamp beasts from the other side of that river are offering a whole load of shinies and This is the important part for the staff party. The location of the scrolls of the breakfast gabagool. If you can, well, if anyone, but it's you, if you can convince the town to allow them access to the water park. Should be pretty straightforward. We could just burn the town down. But I leave that decision in your capable various limbs, and hands, and claws, and whatever you have left, Bones. Does that sound good? Any questions?
How many do we have to get to the water park?
I have no idea. There's probably several of them. They sent a messenger. It was like a little frog. Delicious.
Several, check. Frog equals delicious, check.
Are the swamp beasts the same size as the frog? Because if they are, we could just squeeze them through the water pipes and then they could pop out in the water park on the other end.
Brilliant.
Or we could put them in Bones' chest and just put Jack on, make it look like he's a human, and sneak them in.
It is
Then
like
we'll have to
Trojan.
take one admission fee to water park.
Like Trojan bones.
Hang on, go ahead, Kelly.
We have 2 donations that have just come in.
Ooh.
$15 to Bunny Hearted to summon a character called Hokel the Yokel.
Okay.
And
A pretty
$30
interesting
to
magic
me
effect.
from Precarious, and the first one was from Jade, the maker of monsters, and $30 from Precarious for all chairs to be mimics that are very angry that they're being sat on.
Done. Angry chair mimics are now in the setting.
I would also remind you that Demonica is sitting on a chair. I don't know if that counts.
Yes, of course. I'm going to turn that into something in a moment here. So
Okay.
for the meddling with magic, I got to roll a d6 for how summoning Hokel the Yokel works somewhere out there in the wide and wonderful universe. Does this happen? Oh, goodness. I botched. So whatever nefarious wizard is out there attempting to summon Hokel the Yokel has instead summoned 473,000 pigs with dramatic hats. They are rampaging the countryside right now. It's dangerous out there. Welcome to Pig Hell. They're kind of cute, though.
It's hog wild.
Yeah, it's going hog wild.
It's a lot of bacon.
But I'm sure that will be a problem for
We
anyone
can make
who
some
goes
nice
outside
breakfast sandwiches.
here. Ooh, yeah, you could make lots of breakfast sandwiches. Very true, very
the
true.
pigs?
Demonica's vegetarian, of course. Of course, it's good for her skin, whatever's left of it.
But if it's
Sandwiches for
demonic pigs, does that necessarily mean that they're
They're
alive?
not
They were
necessarily
never
demonic.
born,
They just
right?
have straw hats.
Oh, okay.
The pigs have straw hats?
You're about to find out. This
Do
could
any of
be
these hats have
very
a feather in
confused
them
right now.
for Teddy?
If they do,
Rolling a
they're,
d6.
they're going to get
No.
yoinked.
But
Are
you
we still
could. You
done
could.
at this point? Or
Get
are we,
Like
Boink.
steel feathers. Yeah, you haven't even quite been dismissed yet. We're just being distracted by magical events happening elsewhere in the world. And speaking of magical events happening elsewhere in the world, Demonica is going to dismiss you with a flick of her dramatic jeweled fingers. Go then, beautiful minions, and bring me more coffee later. Chair. She's gonna thump on the throne, and it transforms into a jacuzzi hot tub, and she drips into it. My bath, please. And it will saunter off into a back room. What do you do? It's still very bone themed. It's just quite classy in styles.
I'm going to worry internally because if the chair is a mimic, then the hot tub is just a mimic spit.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
All right, and Teddy's having an existential crisis.
Should we
think
go to the
Demonica probably
swamp to
would
talk
too.
to swamp people? Or swamp creatures, residents
things.
that want...
But they were just swamp beasts.
They might not want life being called beasts. We could just call them residents.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Are y'all heading out of the dungeon then?
Meh.
Okay, sounds
let's
good.
get to work.
All right.
As you maneuver yourselves toward the entrance of the dungeon. I feel there's probably a couple of floors here. You got to take an awkward elevator, and you've got like that moment where there's like a bunch of lizard people in there that are just like talking about Karen at the office and just like how annoying the water cooler is now because it keeps trying to bite people. But then eventually you get to the
Karen
entrance
the other
floor.
day. Did you hear about that?
No, what?
Not a Karen.
Oh my god, she's been in the hospital for like 3 days now.
The water cooler got her?
Yeah.
We should send her a fruit basket.
We should all write a card. I'll send one around later. Everyone can sign it.
Remember that she
The
is
lizard people
allergic
seem
to
very appreciative
strawberries.
because
Really?
this
I
sounds
thought it was
great.
kiwis.
Allergic to strawberry.
Is it kiwi?
I thought it was water.
It's a furry
thought it
fruit.
was-
It's one of the fruit with fur on it.
Is that maybe it's a
That's
raspberry
just an
then?
old strawberry, says a lizard person. That's when they're really good.
It is not polite to ask a strawberry its age.
You do you not age your strawberries?
Mhm. Only just a little
Sometimes
for
you
the
can really
smoothie.
maintain their hair. It's beautiful.
You gotta get the right vintage.
Hmm.
That's a shade of green.
Green strawberries are not good strawberries.
Like, Tasha,
I
one of them
don't
is going to give you a little fist bump. Be like, she gets it. Lizard solidarity. You're gonna stick out their various tongues with the rest of you. You arrive on your floor and start maneuvering towards the entrance. Cubert, the giant vending machine, is wobbling slowly down the hallway, seemingly full of pigs.
Hey, Hubert, nice pigs.
Sort of ominously, slowly rotates in your direction, gives you a little bit of a wobble. I think Cubert needs googly eyes. Cubert's got googly eyes on one side, just for like the direction that Cubert is facing, and we'll give you a little appreciative wobble. A little coin slot will open on the side of the vending slime.
No pigs for me today, Cubert. Thank you.
Oh, Cubert, if you have any exfoliating slimes, Demonica's taking her bath. She might want one.
Oh, good.
Seems to do an appreciative wobble in your direction and maneuvers back down, sort of being the hallway, the way behind you. I'm sure this will be fine for those lizard people. You head at the front door into the giant, I assume there's like a giant skull-faced entrance to this. You're on the top of a fortress. There's like lava pooling at the bottom below and one like precarious path on the way down.
The
But it has
precarious
railings
path?
because the precarious path, ooh. But the precarious path on the way down has like safety railings and stuff because Demonica is not capable of standing solidly all the time. And so you can make your way down pretty safely and easily.
We don't care about
into
OSHA
the
here. The
idyllic
boss just doesn't want to
countryside.
fall in.
Exactly. Yeah. So you head down into infinite fields of grass and golden wheat and all of the shiny stuff of, what did I call this? Realmlandia. The coolest, most classical fantasy kingdoms out there. There are birds chirping, butterflies flickering around. However, all of the little cute animals in nature seem to flee from your presence as you are, agents of evil and chaos and mischief and nefariosity. The dashing little village of Gillimore is only like maybe half a day's walk away from here. You can get there pretty easily. What do y'all do?
Let's go to the village.
Uppies.
Shouldn't
Sounds
we go
good.
to the swamp first to see who wants to come to Water Park?
Don't all of them want to go to water park? This is the whole premise.
But
of
we
the mission.
still have to go pick them up, don't we?
I cannot.
Unless we want to go to the village and get a carriage to bring them, because they might not want to walk the whole way.
I have Kip in one hand. I have Bones in other. I can't pick up any lizard people.
You're
You're welcome to put me down if you want, but I do appreciate the ride. I think
it's
we should go to
okay.
the swamp because we don't know how big these beasts are. We could just throw them over the wall to the water park if they're small enough. But if they're really big, then we got to figure something else. A catapult or something.
We might need a cart.
Ooh.
The catapult would be really good. We could test the integrity of the catapult for them.
Absolutely, of course.
And the integrity of the water park, I assume. Just boom.
And
Beautiful.
Robin Holford just got a $55 donation from a Facebook donor, so no
Ooh.
reward there. But if you want to do something
Awesome.
weird for
Thank you very much for the
$55, go nuts.
support. I mean, we'll see what mayhem happens. Speaking of mayhem happening, though, on your way out here, there are hordes upon hordes of pigs just everywhere. All of them with little dramatic straw hats. Some of them are chewing straw and looking around dramatically. They seem to be organizing small little like pig groups and going off. They're very organized, this horde of pigs. And I'm sure nothing horrible or untoward will occur related to that in the future in this particular session. I'm sure it will be fine. Do you press onwards towards, are you heading across the other side of the river to the swamp zone to encounter the cool swamp beasts?
These pigs are gonna ruin the straw hat economy. I mean, all the straw
Oh,
hat makers are gonna
absolutely.
be out of business.
The stock of straw hats is gone down in the last hour, I think.
Why would it go down? Everyone's going to need more hats very soon. The pigs are taking them all.
No, pigs shouldn't have hats to begin with. This goes against the whole pig convention that we had in 1138.
Right.
Yeah,
Several
that's
pigs
been-
look at you,
that's
anger
been
behind
under
their beady little
controversy.
pig eyes.
Now listen. I think we ought to keep it down around the pigs, or else we might end up.
Oh, you might be good about that, Bones. You're right. Let's use the whisper from now on.
Oink!
And several pigs will look in your direction, Kip.
Oink! Oink! Oink!
One of them looks at
Kip,
you,
You speak pig?
They're strange
I'm gonna
piggy eyes, seeming to
pull
understand the meaning
A
behind
nut
your
straw hat out of the
words.
bag and put it on top of. There you go. You blend in.
Do you just have
Oink.
hats?
He's prepared.
Oink!
One of the pigs will slowly maneuver up closer to you, seemingly just looking you up and down and pondering you, and they will say, "Oink."
Yep.
Do you speak pig?
Gives you a little nod. Oink, 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 oink.
I don't know what I'm
Oink,
saying.
oink, oink.
Oinkity oink, 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 oinker.
Seems startled for a moment and taken aback, but then settles himself and looks at the other pigs, and they all start oinking in unison and nodding their heads. They rampage off towards a distant hilltop.
Good job, Kip.
Where
Oink.
did you learn to speak pig like that?
Sometimes I talk to bacon. It doesn't always talk back.
There is the
I
first
should
time for
try
everything.
that.
That sounds beautiful.
Speaks pig.
New
I'm
talent
finding
just
myself while they
dropped.
find themselves. New talent
Of course,
just dropped.
of course. Yeah. So
keeping
you'll
this
head
hat.
down. Whoop. Sorry, I missed what you said there.
I'm keeping this hat.
I think you should. It's very classy. It's dynamic. It's dramatic.
fits.
It suits you. It's perfect. It's tip top for the Kip top. Kind of worked. Speaking of things that kind of work, you rampage through the countryside, just casually strolling, but basically unbothered, and make your way towards the river. You do have to get across the river, however, to get over to the swamp land over there on the other side, which might now be called Swamplandia. And you have to cross a nefarious bridge. It's spooky. It's dark. It's made of rotting wood. Dun, dun, dun. It really looks like it's not OSHA certified, but you approach it now. The river's probably about 100 meters across. Across. It's quite a wide river. Kind of gross looking, full of reeds and all of that stuff. Who knows what could be in there? There are definitely rumors of various spooky things hiding within the river. The bridge
Oh,
is
I have
technically
to know
intact,
on
though.
this bridge. You have to step on a very specific sequence of planks in order to make it across so that you don't step on the ones that are about to break. But I didn't write down which planks it was.
That is okay. I can just throw you across the river. It is no problem. And I immediately throw Kip first.
You just immediately okay.
He loses the
I
hat.
feel like you have triggered a
that's-
move in this circumstance here, Ravnos. I think you were attempting something without regard for the consequence.
I volunteer as tribute.
Let's
I
see
think you
what,
volunteered me
what-
as tribute.
You voluntold.
This will be a Kip problem.
okay. I'm
But
the
so
one
you're
rolling?
Kip eating. What traits on your character sheet feel relevant for this? Whether that be your talent, your tools, your motivation. We should establish some scene traits here as well. I think it's going to be a little bit misty and spoopy. I put like too many P's in my spoopy description, so now it's spoopy.
That dangerous poopy landscape.
But you're just
Um,
yeeting Kip dramatically, right?
Yeah.
And also, if you don't have any traits that feel relevant, you always roll 1d6 anyways. I can also add or remove one if I feel it's relevant to it. But let me know if you don't have any that feel relevant, you're doing it anyways, because then it's a bit of a different roll.
Yeah, the only real talent that I have is the big padded feet that I have that I could use like for get violent or don't get caught kind of rolls, but nothing for cobalt eating.
Well, I mean, you definitely have to probably use your feet in order to yeet a kobold.
You could kick me
Doing like a
across.
whole baseball toss, you could kick across.
You could punt me across.
Okay. I'm gonna try to softly, like, not use the full front of the foot, but like the side of the foot to kind of like
Gently.
pop.
The,
Yeah.
the,
Like,
the
"Pele!"
gentle part of the ginormous bugbear. Right. Okay. Sounds good.
Keep it
Bend the kobold like Beckham.
Yes.
So you're kobold punting then.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, beautiful, amazing. Please
We
roll
should
me
add this to our
1d6
winter
for
sports games.
kobold punting. We should.
No. I am the only
roll
one
me
allowed to
1d6
punt.
for every trait that feels appropriate, and let me know the highest number you roll.
Punt the run.
So 1d6 or 2d6?
Do you have 2 traits that feel relevant?
No, just a 1.
Then just the one.
All right. I got a 3. That's garbage.
You got a 3. Dun.
I heard
All right.
Just gonna take a small look at a list over here. One moment. My PDF is being very slow for some reason
That's
today.
never good when you have to look at the list.
Hello, PDF.
Hulu?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Well, I kind of remember what's on it anyways, but I like double checking stuff when it's like a system that's new to me. So, okay, so you were going to punt Kip dramatically across the river, kind of like a skipping stone. Not quite as high as you had anticipated, but definitely goes skip across the surface. And Kip, you're going to slide on your butt across the muddy shore on the other end. You're definitely, as you were skipping across the surface of the water, though, saw something moving in its depths.
Huh?
What is?
Skip, you made it. I'm proud of you.
Great shot.
Yeah, it's practice.
Are you on the soccer team? Are you going to join the soccer team? The soccer team is looking for new recruits right now. You should totally join.
We have a soccer team?
Yeah, the extracurricular one.
It's a little bit tough because every time they lose, the Monica kills the losing team.
Yeah,
And
that's why I
they're
don't
always
want
looking
to.
for new recruits.
Yeah, I don't want to be part of that. You know.
But when you win, you get a pizza party.
Right, but we haven't won the games in like 28 seasons, so it's not like really conducive to joining.
Huh?
Not with that attitude.
You're right. I
You
might have
could
to.
change the entire tide with that kick.
One person is not enough to change the entire losing streak, but you know, maybe.
Have you never seen a movie?
football.
What if you kicked 2 people?
At the same time, that is unheard of.
Kip, are you going to be
No
okay in
problem.
there?
Something
Kip
here.
is like 100 meters across the river, so you probably have to shout dramatically. at each
Something
other.
here. I'm a
What
poke
does
it.
it look like?
I'm a poke it.
I'm gonna poke it.
Oh no!
Is it
Poke it.
tasty?
Oh, you're just
I'm gonna grab a
randomly poking a stick into the water?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. You randomly poke a stick into the water. Seems to be okay.
What does it taste like?
The water?
So,
Or the stick?
It might taste poopy.
Does it taste Sticky. like slop?
Alright, I now have
Right.
free hands, so I'm gonna pick everybody up and just run across the bridge.
Brilliant, beautiful. So you're scooping up 3 people and sprinting across the rickety bridge?
Yeah. Keep an eye out for the tricky little planks that you said. Okay, we're going, and just.
Yeah, sounds good. Could you make me an avoid danger roll?
I mean, not the way my dice were rolling, but you know, whatever you want, whatever you
Teddy,
want.
how much do you weigh and how much do we weigh together?
I rolled 3, so we're about to find out just how bad.
Yeah, you're about to find out. Hey, it could have been quite a bit worse, though. So the answer to that question is not necessarily one you'll discover through mathematics or science or like careful measurement. It is something you'll discover when the bridge collapses underneath you and all of you with a large splashing noise kersploosh into the middle of this river. The first thing you'll notice is that the river's not really flowing very quickly. It's a strangely still portion of the river. The second thing you will notice is the kraken that pops out over the surface of the water and starts lashing dramatically towards you. What do you do?
This.
Oh no!
Sounds good.
I feel like I'm probably a good swimmer, and I'm probably like on the other side, or I'm trying to at least.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, why don't we make that a roll for it? Because you're trying to get out of a dangerous situation here. This
I
could just
don't
be
have
an
like
avoid
a
danger roll.
specific, anything for this. So just roll one.
Yeah, if you don't feel any of your traits are relevant to it,
Just
then
my
actually
natural
tell me if
being
you.
salamanderness.
I mean, could be. What are the traits on the sheet right now? Under your like talent, motivation.
My traits
and
are absolutely about like non-physical things.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. In that case, then I think you're still just gonna roll a d6, but it's a bit worse.
I rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3. Never mind. So I think the cool ass kraken here in the water is actually gonna grab you and hold you up dramatically above it. And poke you with a tentacle. This unfortunately is a little bit painful, so you will take harm because you're being jabbed with a giant kraken tentacle. So take 1 harm and roll me a d6.
Ooh.
And what?
Before
Ooh, before.
any of that harm happens,
Do you have a perk?
I have a protective perk. Yes.
Let's go.
When an ally would take harm, I can take it instead. I think.
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Do I just like X out a box to indicate harm if I do take
You
it?
would, yeah. Although I think you don't need to anymore.
Where did the perks go?
I can pull it up on this end too. I think I've got like 4 copies of PDF open right now.
Yeah, when an ally would take harm, describe how you protect them and make a roll. On a roll of a 6, you protect them and they don't take harm. On a 4 or 5, you take the harm instead of them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
So the moment
So
I hear,
why don't we give that a
her-
go? So what do you
yeah.
do to step in?
The moment I hear her
Prevent
yell my
Giovanna?
tail, I'm gonna just rush over, pick her up, grab the thing that's grabbed her tail, and just attach it to me. And like, no, this is not how you make friend. Keep show you how to make friend.
Fair enough. That sounds good. That sounds good. Wait, new donation. Ooh.
New donation, $15 from Raven with Baubles. Magic, 4 ravens. Edgar Allan Poe and Lenore are looking for shinies to buy the water park for all their raven friends.
Perfect. I love this. Thank you very much for the support. We're gonna do that roll in one moment once we've settled how this one's going.
Yeah. I rolled a 4, so I take the harm.
Okay, awesome. So this looks like you just literally swim over and you're like, no, tentacle, grab me instead. Just like put it on your body.
This is not how you make friend. Come, I take you to shore. You make Kip. He makes friends.
Sounds good. So you're still gonna take that 1 harm. So roll me a d6 to see if you die. And you're gonna be poked by a kraken tentacle.
I rolled a 6, so I'm pretty safe.
Oh yeah, you're
Nice.
in great condition. So awesome. That's pretty cool. I think that some cool ravens might be about to appear though. So what was that description again, Kelly?
4 ravens, Edgar Allan Poe and Lenore.
Allan Poe and Lenore. Perfect.
Cute.
All come looking for shinies.
Oh dear. Hang on. This actually, I rolled really good on this one.
I have 1 magpie I'm trying to get to bring me stuff. So far, it's brought me 1 white rock.
Oh, hey, that's pretty
so
cool.
exciting. That's awesome.
Magpies are rad.
That you got to start somewhere.
Okay, awesome. I think that those ravens might be making a very relevant appearance very soon. Thank you very much for the support for this rad cause. I really appreciate it. Speaking of things that I really appreciate, what are y'all doing? Teddy has been lifted up by a giant tentacle, and another tentacle is poking him while this kraken is slowly raising its body out of the river.
I think
Go ahead, Bones.
I'm going to play dead and try to float downriver onto the shore. just a pile of bones in the
You're
water.
just like,
have to have an
don't
advantage on
notice me.
playing
I'm just dead. It's fine here. Okay.
There's
I
no meat on
don't
my
think-
bones.
I don't want to bring science into this game. I don't want to be that guy. But skeletons
Yeah.
have buoyancy.
You know, there's no lungs, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, but like also, maybe. I feel that that's up to the skeleton in this case. Who
Fine,
knows?
float
Can
away,
Skeletor
Bones.
swim? Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, like
His
the
one
bones
greatest
are connected, so
weakness,
they have
running water.
motion. They can keep afloat.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you're trying to sort of not even be noticed at this point, right? You're just like, dude. Okay. Can you make me a don't get caught roll? Because I think you've triggered don't get caught here. It's the same deal. You're going to see what traits on your sheet feel relevant to it. And then roll that many dice. Also, the scene traits here, there's one that is misty. That could be pretty relevant too, because maybe you're fading into the mist. So you could take another one for that.
Absolutely. I will take another one for fading into the mist.
Sounds good.
All right. So that's going to be... I rolled 2 5s.
2 5s. Nice. Okay. So then your highest is a 5. So what that means is that you get to choose one from the list of 2 I'm about to give you. One is that the deception does not last long, or that you are somehow exposed to danger.
You are in a river.
I'm happy to be exposed to danger.
Okay, sounds good.
All part of the job.
It is indeed all part of the job. So you
Such a great job.
allow your skeletal body to inexplicably float a little bit down the river. The river's not moving very quickly, of course. It's a mysteriously still spot in the river. So it takes you a little bit of time to float away, but you are seemingly unnoticed by that kraken. However, you do bump into a tentacly figure behind you. Just sort of with like a thump, as if you're a pile of trash bumping into a floating boat, that have encountered the tentacly form of a second kraken. They don't seem to have noticed you.
Yeah, does it think he's dead still? So like, oh, these bones get in the way.
I just started staring up with empty eye sockets at this kraken.
It's like
Just trying to look not alive.
awkward. All right, so at the moment, Teddy is being held aloft by one kraken. Bones has discovered a second kraken. What are y'all doing?
I think I'm going to attempt to use a little bit of magic to help create a little
Ooh.
illusion of a plate full of fish. Because I think the kraken's hungry. So I'm going to ask the kraken if it wants some breakfast, and if it would trade my friend Teddy here for this big pile of fish.
Our skills are in
Ooh,
green.
okay.
people.
I like that for sure. I also want to say, Andrew, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. It means an awful lot to me to be supporting this cause. I'm someone who spent a lot of my childhood in a children's hospital, so it's I don't know, it just warms my heart quite a lot for folks to be supporting this cause. I want more folks to have the kind of support that I was so lucky to have. And okay, so you were doing a little bit of nefarious magic stuff. Which traits feel relevant to this one for you?
Well, I've got the traits misdirection, and I also have the friendly face, so to try to avoid some danger.
Sounds
and
good,
I've got
good.
the
I think
perk
those are very
dabbler to do
relevant.
the magic.
Okay, awesome. That all sounds super relevant to me. So, can you describe the effect one more time?
So I'm going to hold up what looks like a tray with a pile of yummy fish on it. Of course, unprepared because I don't think krakens really cook their fish.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm going to just try to talk, say, are you hungry? My friend there, he's not very tasty. He hasn't had bath in a long time. I'm very sorry about that. But would you like these yummy fish instead?
All right, make me a talk it over roll. So you're going to take all of those traits, you're going to roll them all together, and tell me your highest number on your highest dice. You're
5.
talking it over with krakens. You have a 5. Okay, awesome. So what that means is that they will demand something more in return. So you hold up this plate of delicious fishies and try to convince them that, hey, your friend is actually kind of stinky, and maybe you would prefer not to eat an unbathed bugbear. And you could eat all of these fresh fish that I have. The kraken is going to sort of pull itself a little bit out of the water even more. You can see 2 ginormous pairs of spectacles, I guess 1 ginormous pair of spectacles across its little squiddy face as it rises up. And it will say, double it or give it to the next kraken.
Sure, we can double it. Let me just go into my bag here and see what extra fish I have. And I don't know how the spell will work to create another illusionary tray of fish.
You walk around with so much fish in your pocket?
Also, are these real fish or just illusion fish? Like, once the kraken takes them, is he going to be like, these aren't real?
That's a future problem.
Oh, Okay.
Of course,
not
of course, my
problem for right
backpack's
now.
a magical bag of holding that has endless fish in it. Yes.
You're literally in a river,
Honestly,
so like
what you
we
use
could
in
just
coffee
catch
race.
fish.
Could just catch fish, absolutely.
Well, the river's not
Um,
flowing very well, so the fish aren't coming. You know, so you need to bring your own fish.
hmm So for Dabbler, if you're doing like a full effect on this one, like the way that it sort of works, if you want to really unleash magical forces, this will cost you Zeal, which is a limited resource, and this allows you to do like a much more powerful spell. So I think for like casting magic as like a character's rate 100% to do it, you can just have a sheet of fish that doesn't require you to do this, but you could do a very powerful spell by spending a point
Well,
of Zeal.
if it helps,
a one-word prompt to me, and then I cause trouble for you.
well, I think I will zealously pull the fish out of my backpack.
All right. So you are unleashing magical forces, choosing the Kraken and the word fish.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, awesome. How many fish do you summon?
20. Kraken
Big
are
are
pretty
these
big.
fish?
Yay big. It's a river. They're river fish. They're not going to be super large.
Right. But these river fish seem to be river fish through the perspective of perchance a small frog. You summoned an awful lot of very large fish, slightly more than you had anticipated. And you are going to slightly bury this Kraken in a giant pile of fish. They will drop Teddy, and make like the most happy noise you've ever heard a Kraken make.
Yay! I pleased the Kraken. You're
Just
welcome
in
to
a
come by
giant pile of
my
fish.
cafe if you want some fish later.
This sounds more like a harmonica than Demonica's harmonica.
Just a ooh. You hear a second twin satisfied Kraken sound from behind Bones as the second Kraken wiggles a little bit forwards. I think this Kraken's going to have like a we can do it kind of hair bonnet across them, sort of for that kind of vibe, and it's going to come steal some of the fish, and they will like hang out together and be Kraken friends, eating fish together, vibing
So
in
these
the
are
river,
like real fish.
letting the rest of you cross safely
Yeah.
if you want to.
Ooh.
Time to escape the scene then. Let's go, Bones!
All right, and I start paddling with flailing my bones around, trying to get across to the other side of the river.
Screams. So
I will help
I
drag along the pile of bones.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Of course. So the four of you will pull yourselves out of the river and meet Kip on the far shore. And you are immediately greeted by a horrid squawking voice that just says, "Got any stuff? Whack!"
We have so much stuff. Oh my god!
A
what
small
stuff
series of
do you
trees
have?
ahead of you as you approach the edge of the swamp, and there are
Tree
4
talk?
ravens up there.
Hi, Tree.
Do you want to trade?
The tree squawks back to you, Kip. What stuff you got?
Trees don't talk. Kid. This is illusion. Block it from your mind.
Let's see. Is this an illusion?
I'm gonna start pulling out random like junk out of my bag, being like, I have this thing, but I don't really know what it is. But it's pretty cool. This one's actually really shiny, but it's kind of broken. It doesn't really work anymore, but it's still pretty. Etc.
Ooh. You're just pulling a random infinite baubles.
Just junk mostly that I found in the dungeon.
I mean, this is pretty exciting junk that you just found in the dungeon.
There's a reason
4
it's in my
ravens are
bag.
going to
Junk that happened to be
swarm
part of
your little
traps at one
salamander
point.
body. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying her junk probably came from the traps at one point.
Might have been caught
What?
in the traps. Might have been
Yeah.
a bait for the trap. Yeah.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column someone who got crushed by the traps. Understandable. Speaking of being crushed by things, though, you're going to be swarmed by 4 ravens who are going to sort of peck at you and try to steal all of the shiny things that you are
Hey, not fair,
supplying.
not fair, you guys!
It's totally fair. Actually, legally, we own all shiny things. That's right. Legally, we own all shiny things. You have to give these things to us now. That's right. Shiny tax. Quack.
This
Sorry,
goes
go ahead,
against the
Bones.
Raven Convent of 1132.
The Raven Covenant of 1132 is bullshit. We hate the convent. Quack.
Oh, this is grounds for a fight. I don't like this anymore.
Can I use my mastermind perk? One of the
Oh.
2 uses of the mastermind perk. And as I was being, which allows me to sort of go back and through flashback have done
Mhm.
something beforehand with foresight, with great foresight.
Of course,
as
very levered
Bones is
style.
known for. And so as I was being dragged very graciously
Sight.
through the freshly flooded river, flooded with fish, that is, one was caught in my ribs, and I pull out this big, delicious fish from my ribs, and I start waving it up and trying to get the crow's attention, saying,
Hey, look, I brought some food for you. Is that good? Is that what you're looking for?
This is like a big, huge silver fish. It's like a minnow the size of a person.
yeah.
They're very excited. Food? Shiny food? Then give shiny food. Give shiny food. They're gonna start hopping towards you.
You gotta come over here.
And I start
Legally,
hobbling
we own
away
the
from
shiny
rest of the
food.
party.
Give us your
Well,
bones. Nip, nip, nip.
Hey, leave the
Snarping
bones
at
alone.
you
Take
as
the
they hop
fish.
angrily at you.
They don't own
Just
shiny
leading
food.
them
You
away.
can get a lawyer.
Lawyers are evil.
This is true, but still.
Can I huck the fish away?
Rude.
Absolutely, yeah. Where do you huck the fish?
In the direction of the Krakens. In the direction of the river we
Oh
once we came.
no! Sounds great. I'm sure there will be no future consequences for anyone involved from this. So you throw the fish into like the pile of fish that the Krakens are munching upon. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. The four crows are going to hop over to the water's edge and start angrily squawking at the Krakens about how all of those shinies are theirs and they legally own all shinies, and that the Raven Covenant of 1132 is illegal and overturned. One of them pulls out a little book and starts yelling about Raven laws, and they're just starting to have a whole argument with these Krakens over there. The Krakens do not seem very pleased about it. What do you do?
Get out.
Fair enough. There's a giant ominous swamp ahead of you full of mist and spooky trees and probably lots of slime. And you can head on into it. I think we're about halfway through our time slot. I want to check in to see if y'all are okay, if you need a break, if you've got to grab some water, do a quick wash and run, anything like that.
Well, I would like to tell you that another $30 has been donated to you to summon a murder of crows trying to look like a kenku, helping the ravens find shinies.
Oh my
And
goodness gracious.
Number 2, crows and ravens either attack the kraken or something else. Have fun with it.
Beautiful, brilliant. Crows are in for the shinies. Added that to
Crows
my
before
note list
bros.
here. Okay, I do, however, need a really, really small wash and break. So I could just step away and I could leave the rest of you to hang out with chat and chat for a moment, and then I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Or we could take a small break. What are you feeling?
Whatever works. You want to take a break?
Let's take a really quick break and then we'll come back in.
All right.
We're going to
So,
encourage
folks, we'll
other
be-
folks to also take a break. Get some water. Be good to you. There's only one of you and you
Get
Water.
more
Water.
coffee.
Get some water. I'm gonna. Yeah, coffee is
So
water.
what?
Coffee
Some
made
wa-
with water.
All right, we'll be right back, eh? All right, they can. Sounds good. They can hear me, but they can't hear you. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the part of the program where I take off the mask. Oh, wow, I have depth perception again. What's going on, guys? Whoa. Hey, folks, thank you so much for being here for Extra Life. This is always such a... This is actually Kip's voice. Hi, everybody. This is, my name's Kip. I'm a kobold. I don't want to brag, but, I like to donate to help kids in need. That makes me a pretty cool dude. So, if you want to be a cool kobold like me, then, donate right now. You can donate to anyone, but I honestly think spread the love around. Donate to, to Natasha. Donate to Bones. Donate to Dale. Donate to Ravnos. Patrick Coburn, that's right. So the link to donate, you can go to Extra Life, extra-life.org. And you know what? I'll just type it here. Boop. There you go. So, wait, that's not right. Don't donate it there. Don't donate there. That donates directly to me. Don't. So go to charity. Nope, that's how you spell it. Chair. Charity. There you go. Yeah, donate to that link. Donate to that link. Don't donate to the first one. I don't want your money today. I'll take your money on Monday. But for today, nay. Also, this weekend, folks, I'm gonna leave point buy on just so that you guys can accrue points by sitting and watching. But you won't be able to spend them, so I'll have to redeem anything you buy. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I'm so sleepy, guys. The first link is a mimic. I'm gonna shut that off actually for the weekend. Oh, Dale, can you make me some coffee? Yeah, you'll make me some coffee? Or is this really true? Oh, they couldn't hear you any...
Cold brew maker.
You have a cold brew maker now? That's
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah.
Wow.
I spent too much money at Starbucks, so now I'm just buying beans and making cold brew.
Dude, you need to go... Ooh, you need to go to Bones Coffee and use code DorkTales to save 20%.
Seems like a good idea to me.
They, folks, they just released the Indiana Jones mugs. And 2 of them are like, yeah, these are okay mugs. And then the Last Crusade mug literally put my jaw on the floor. It's choosing wisely, guys. It's so wise. Oh,
Sadly, I don't have room for any more mugs at home.
I don't either, but I still buy them.
But I do have my nice Marauders map mug here today.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I thought it was fitting.
I think so. We're Marauders.
Well, I don't have my skull mug anymore. I don't know where that went to.
I don't know either. Bones is great, man. Like, I am going to... You know what? Do we have, like... Is everybody back? Ah, crap, everybody's back. All right, I'll get coffee later. All right, coffee later.
I mean, you can go get coffee. We can hang out and vamp and chat for a moment while you get some quick coffee if you need some.
Yeah.
I'm very intentional that this is like a super casual flex time kind of game. We'll
Why
get
don't you guys hop back in
and
and Kip will just be hiding.
taking a small nip.
Yeah.
Kip fell asleep on Teddy's shoulder.
That sounds... It's very fluffy.
Are you getting like a little pat? That's really cute.
Mel brought along some instant coffee to wake Kip up, but it's gonna...
Oh my god, that'd be so good right now. Just chew
We
it.
can use the river water.
That's good. All right, I'm gonna swap us back over then. In you guys ready? In un, deux, trois. Whoosh.
Hello and welcome back. Dunt, dunt, dunt. Good luck on your secret coffee adventure, noble Kip. However, speaking of coffee, I think some more nefarious beans are up here. Oh, I like the mask on the chair. It's like you've never left. What? You can just get coffee. Oh my gosh, you dork.
Not called Dark Tales for nothing.
Beautiful, perfect. You know what? That's true. That's true. Well said.
Keep
All
you
right.
stoic like a rock.
Oh, I know, right? There's like so many emotions hidden behind the mask, but I hear no one cared who he was until he put the mask on. You know, it's complicated.
The strong and silent type.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kip is the
Speaking of
bravest
strong
of
and
us all.
silent type. As the horde of ravens are arguing with the krakens in the middle of this river, a fellow horde is going to appear on the far side of the river. Very, very similar, but many, many more birds. A small sea of dark shapes you'll recognize very quickly as crows. Not just because you see a whole bunch of them over there, but because one will flutter down onto your side and say, well, hello. I hear there are shinies over here. Are you going to give us the shinies? Hmm?
All the
Oh,
shinies
it's
are over there in the river.
Yeah. The Krakens have all the shinies.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
why
I hear that there are
you're
shinies over there. The crow seems to
so
be like
much.
moving back and forth as if listening to cool music. But what if you have shinies over here? Hmm?
I've got some
We
scones and
will-
coffee. Do you want some scones?
Oh, I would love some scones.
Sure. Here, let me get. I got blueberry and I'm not sure what kind of berry this is, but it smells good.
Oh, mystery berry, I love to live dangerously, the crow says.
Well, I only have one, and there are 20 of you. I don't
No,
know
there
who.
are many more over there. Only me here for the moment, however.
Oh,
Should
well,
you
then you can
release
have
the
it.
scone, I anticipate many more of my brethren would arrive.
well, you're welcome to it.
We'll trade the
Especially if
stone
you
for
happen
heads.
to know where the friends at the swamp are. Do you know where they are? We're trying to find them.
Do you seek the swamp beasties?
Sure, yes. I guess we can call
Release
them
the
that.
scone from your terrifying grasp, and I will tell you what I know.
It's not terrifying. I just got my manicure done yesterday.
It's pretty
I know what you are.
Tell us
Don't
first,
make me
and then
say
we'll give
it.
you the scone.
A barista. Lightning flashes. Horses in the distance whinny. Do you release the scone?
Well, of course.
Yeah. The moment you let go of the scone, there are 4 more crows there. They appear simply out of nowhere. They look up at you somewhat appreciatively. Start pecking at it. Yes, this is the good stuff. Wonderful. Just fantastic. Yes, how wonderful.
What, so, do you know
they
what
will-
berry that was? Because I don't know the name of that berry.
It will be an adventure for all of us then. The ravens, however, have noticed this, and they will start squawking angrily about crow legality and hopping over in that direction. What? The wall's saying all the shinies here are ours? The crows will smoothly and delicately try to dissuade them. This is going to turn into a small dance competition between the ravens and the crows, and they're sort of like snapping their wings at each other and angrily squawking or smooth jazzing back and forth at each other.
It's a dance off.
It's a dance off. It's
I
fully
think-
a birdie dance off.
Bones, can you give them a nice beat for the dance off?
Yeah, where is the music?
Sure thing. And I'm gonna detach my well, what can I guess 2 of the ribs to play the rest of the ribs like the xylophone.
There we
Sounds
go.
good, sounds good. So for an update for Kip, a bunch of smooth jazz crows have arrived and are now having a small dance off with the ravens over the shinies. And also they've been given a scone, which they're really stoked on. So that sounds great. What kind of music do you play?
This is a great question. The crows are very into jazz. However, the xylophone is not a jazz instrument, nor the marimba
it
could
could
be,
be.
perhaps. It could be. Can
Could be,
I play
could
a jazzy marimba xylophone beat along my
I think
ribs?
100% yes. Is anyone joining in and forming a small band here in the middle of the swamp entrance?
I'll try to play a mambo with the
I
rest
feel
of
like
the
I have
pack.
some sort of broken instrument somewhere on me, so I will play that badly.
Just pull out like half a violin.
Exactly.
It's glued to like, I don't know, a bugle you found. And you're like, it's an instrument.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Sounds like jazz.
So who wins the dance competition? The crows or the legality ravens?
Who looks least likely to like peck us to death?
There are less ravens. But they are bigger.
Do we leave it up to fate, odds and evens?
We could leave it up to fate. Who wants to roll? Odds for crows, evens for ravens?
I'll roll.
Sounds good.
Ooh, it's
The barista
even.
rolls.
As a judge, I am accepting bribes.
Oh, interesting. You said even?
Even. I think that was the Ravens.
are gonna have it. Goodness. While somehow in this dance-off, they start advancing forward dramatically, shaking their dramatic tail feathers back and forth, somehow snapping their wings. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Don't worry about it. Don't at me. And they will advance towards the crows and actually manage to secure what remains of the mystery scone. The crows will sheepishly saunter over behind your feet. Most unfortunate. Yes, just the worst. Do you have more scones?
I have some blueberry and a lemon cranberry.
We haven't heard anything about what we were promised we would be told about yet.
A valid
That's
point. The
true.
terms of your bargain still stand. The swamp beasties are simply in the swamp.
But where in the swamp? It's a big swamp.
You won't miss them.
Do you want to come with us?
You must
We're
be
going to go to a
armed.
water park after.
Oh, does the water park have scones?
They do have a large concession stand which has lots of yummies and lots of shinies.
Chips.
The
They're
number of
shiny
crows
chip
seems
bags.
to shrink for a moment, and then there are many more of them at your feet, and they seem to like be murmuring amongst each other very smoothly. We will accompany you on this journey.
Wonderful. More friends to come along.
You know what they
Who would
say,
have
that
been?
the murder the merrier.
Nobody says that. Stop trying to
I
make
say
it
it all the
happen.
time.
We will now start saying that. We should make shirts. This is another crow.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
You're being followed now by a small horde of weirdly smooth crows. Beautiful and wonderful. It sounds like you were going to head into the swamp. Is it something that you're still doing? Okay, awesome. So we're going to get a bit of a scene change here as you maneuver into the swamp. Like the swamp is probably not super misty. It's definitely very, very wet and goopy. Maybe goopy is like the scene trait for the swamp here. It's gross. It's goopy and gross and probably full of alligators, but that's fine. Y'all are certainly more dangerous than an alligator. He probably has a weird hat anyways. As you saunter on in towards the swamp.
If the crows have stopped trying to rob me, I would like to talk with them.
Yeah, no, they seem to be quite sated by the
You don't know
scones
crows
and the
very well,
accursed
do you?
barista, lightning noises.
I don't know anything very well, to tell you the truth.
Fair enough, fair enough. They're not currently trying to rob you, but they probably will again very soon.
In the meantime, I'm chatting with them.
What are you talking to the crows about?
Various shinies and where they've been and have they
Various
flown
shinies.
far.
Ooh. So they'll chat you up a little bit. They're really excited about the concept of shinies. They haven't flown terribly far at all. Something that you will notice in conversing with these crows is that it doesn't really seem to matter which one you talk to. Because it's like you're having a conversation with all of them at once. And it's a various crow that responds to you.
It's the crow hive mind.
It is absolutely a crow hive mind, yes. I'm sure it's fine.
I wonder if they'll give Teddy a feather they can use him to put in a hat.
I have already
don't
taken the
know.
feather.
You've already taken a feather. Now you just need a straw hat.
You underestimate the snake.
We need to find a pig.
I think there are tons of feathers here. I won't make you do any particular challenges to get some feathers, but you can easily access some nice crow feathers. They have very shiny ones. If you're holding on to it, they will compliment you in such a fine feather.
No, I appreciate it.
Sounds good, sounds good. So you're going to press onward into the swamp. There is sort of like a little bit of a path here that you're following at this point. There are rickety torches that look like they haven't been lit for quite some time. Whatever is left of this path has mostly fallen into the swamp. Some of you might want gumboots for this circumstance, but I'm not sure if you are equipped for gumboots.
Stilts.
But that's sort of up to you. And stilts, yes, stilts could be very, very useful. So you're actually staying out of the swamp goop. Well done, well done. But you advance forwards down the path. You'll be stopped, not so suddenly, because you can see him from like quite some distance, and you can also hear him from even further away, by a frog person. And by stopped, I mean there was a frog person asleep in the middle of the road. He has a little spear and a little like plate mail armor and a little hat on his head, and he's having a little nap on the spear. He's going like honk shoo me me me, but it's a ribbit. What do you do?
Hey, Kip, do you think that you could take that head without awakening the frog?
Yeah.
I have faith in you. Go, my friend.
It's like one of those little like metal bucket hats. But okay, Kip, are you gonna do it?
Yeah, he's gonna
Sounds
do
like you're
it.
trying
He's
not to
gonna
get
do it.
caught.
I'm trying not to get caught. What do I roll?
So you're gonna see how many traits you have that feel appropriate to this action. Count that many of them up, roll that many dice, and tell me the highest dice that you get.
All right.
It's only
How
the
many
highest
traits
one
am
that matters.
How many traits am I supposed to have?
You should have one talent, one motivation, and one tool. And then also
Alright.
you might be able to use lessons learned as a trait in this circumstance. So there's a bit of a mechanic for that. And it's also goopy and gross here, if those feel relevant to how you're going to go about this in the fiction.
So his tool is a wizard cloak
Okay.
of indeterminate abilities, with a lot of stars on it. His talent is being surprisingly durable. And his motivation
that.
is to make friends. So I don't think any of those. Well, maybe the wizard cloak.
Yeah. It could be maybe this is something you're doing for friendship. You could probably use your motivation for that too, depending on.
All right,
the
I'll say I'm
cause,
trying to be.
at Kip's heart here.
All right, I think we're gonna do that. So what do I have to roll?
Okay. So if you're using both of them, then you would roll 2d6.
Okay. That is 6.
So you rolled a 6 on the highest. Nice, nice, nice. So
Oh, sorry, is it the
both of
highest? I
you-
rolled a 3 on the highest. If that was the case.
Oh, sorry. So it's just that whatever dice rolls highest is the most important one. So if
Then
you rolled a
that's a
6,
3.
you're good.
I rolled a 3.
Wait, hang on. I I thought you rolled a 6.
I
Where did
added the
6
two.
come from?
I added the 3s together because
You
I'm
added
dumb.
them together. You have 2 3s. Okay, great. So had you
damn
rolled a 4
threes.
or a 5, you would have been able to choose from whether or not the deception lasts long or whether or not you're exposed to danger somehow. Instead, this deception will not last long at all, and you are immediately exposed to danger because you're going to wake up the frog guard. Dun, dun, dun. You creep up behind this frog, reaching for the top of his hat, and he will actually deftly push your hand away with his spear and turn around, swiveling towards you, spear at your little koboldy chest, and he will croak. What are you doing here?
Can I use my perk in this case?
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically just like get out of trouble. Like, we weren't causing any trouble. It's fine. We were just fooling around. We're
Which
all
which
good.
perk is this?
This is just don't do it again.
Wait, just don't do it again. Hang on, what's that one?
It's a mod of slippery.
Oh, okay. Oh, slippery's a fun one. Do-do.
One hat.
Looks back and forth between the two of you. And so, sorry, what do you say for this? If it's a mod of slippery, are you doing the same kind of roll?
Yeah, same kind of roll. So basically, if it's a high roll, it's like scot-free. If it's I'm just looking.
Otherwise,
If
it's
it's like
going to
a
be
4
probably
or
a similar
5,
version of. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go for that one. So I think I
Okay.
actually have your sheet over here too. I should check it on that end.
Oh no, I got a 3. Not helping at all.
Dun dun dun. So what do you say?
I say, oh my goodness, we're so sorry. We didn't realize you were like a real frog. We thought you were just like a toy, like kind of a dummy just on the road there. We would never have tried to grab something off of you if we'd known you were a guard.
Looks at you with sadness in his giant beady froggy eyes. Don't call me a dummy. And you said you were after my hat.
Yeah, nice hat.
Well,
I
thank
did-
you.
It is very good hat for you to wear. It accents your eyes very nicely.
Very nicely.
It does. Croak noise. My mother made it for me.
Gift.
Aw.
Very, very gifted woman.
No.
Give now?
Still no.
Trade.
I can't really do a croaking noise, unfortunately, so pretend I'm croaking a lot as I'm discussing this. He croaks back the word trade. Trade
Raven.
what? Looks up. Looks back at you. Looks up. Looks back at you and croaks. Those are crows.
Don't be a speciesist, Kip.
Kip failed ornithology.
Making us look bad in front of the frog.
Failed bird law.
Bird law is very complicated. Sorry, what were you saying, Ravnos?
You're making us look bad in front of the frog.
And in front of the crows. I don't think they're gonna want to be sold off for a hat.
Oh, we're not very judgmental,
Yeah.
say the crows.
No, they're
them
crows.
I think you're looking quite bad, though, says the frog.
So, a new donation just came in
Oh.
to our very own Bones. Bones just got $11 to roll those bones.
Hey, awesome.
No idea what that means in the situation, but I'm sure we can figure it out.
You know what? Roll a d6.
Okay, let's roll some bones. That's a 4. It's a 4.
Okay, awesome. What feels like a medium effect for randomly rolling your bones?
Could I?
Music.
Something with cost.
With cost. Could I flail my arm and it flies off and it hits this frog on the metal hat?
Yes. Hang on. So, okay. So are you even doing this on purpose, or are you just dramatically gesturing?
I'm just dramatically gesturing.
So you dramatically gesture, your whole arm detaches. It was recently part of a xylophone, so it's not really properly, magically affixed. Goes flying off into the distance and grabs onto the very top of this frog's little metal helmet thing. Sort of like a giant spike sitting at the top of it, but it's your arm. It grabs it with force and intention. The frog absolutely does not notice this at all. And just has a giant skeleton arm hanging off the top of his hat. Blinks at you one eye at a time. Krogs, where'd your arm go?
Listen, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll get another one.
Krogs back. I will not worry about it. Sort of shuffles awkwardly. Your arm sort of teeters back and forth as he moves his head.
Did you know
So,
that you have a skeleton hand on your helmet?
Shh.
Oh, sorry. You don't
The
have a
frog,
You look
the
skeleton
frog
hand.
is going to...
You look great, my friend. But we come from Demonica. She said that you wanted some help with you and your friends going to the water park.
Ah.
So did you want to come along with us? We're going to go there right now.
Sounds good. She was here, Krogs, last night. The Blazer, I think it's called. Made all sorts of promises. Krogs again. I will show you to the others.
Yeah,
There's
Wonderful.
something on my hat, you say, though. He's gonna blink his eyes one at a time and tilt his entire froggy head up. The skeleton hand arm sort of bends back behind him and folds back. Doesn't see it at all. Just looking straight up. It sort of scratches his back a little bit, and he sort of stops and does a little wiggle.
When he tilts his head back, can I try to grab my arm and
Absolutely, yes.
does the hat come with it?
Why don't we say 50-50? Roll a d6.
Okay. That's
It's not a move.
5.
We're just finding out 5. Yes, totally.
So does your disembodied hand just grab the hat as you pull it? Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good. That's so good.
Yeah, I think he's not even going to notice at this point. So he's going to look up. You pull the whole hat off his head. He looks back down and says, I don't have an arm on my head.
It's my mistake. I see things out of the corner of my eye, and sometimes I say it out
Blinks
loud.
one
before
eye
I
at a time
think
at
about
you.
it.
Same problem.
Oh,
Croak,
you understand.
croak.
You understand. Yes.
We'll start hopping down the path to lead you towards the other swamp people. As he does, the swamp opens up a little bit and you start getting into a small village. There's a bunch of froggy houses here on stilts. Lots of croaky people are vibing and being very, very strange and gross and silly here. They're doing all of that cool and silly frog circumstance. Don't worry about it. And you end up finding yourselves in the middle of this village. It's a small spot that's sort of been cleared out a little bit with a bit of a bonfire happening there. They're smoking all sorts of like meat. There's a bunch of nuts and things here. Some of the meat seems to just be very large bugs, which maybe gives you some insight on other things in the swamp as you go off the path. And they're just vibing for a little bit. They don't seem to like be super ready or prepared for you to be here. So they're mostly just awkwardly shuffling around the various frog people, but they will like offer you snacks, which are bugs.
Wait, are these the swamp people we're trying to help?
Probably.
Okay.
I'll happily accept some bugs and slip them into my bag to use for later cooking.
Oh gosh.
He's gonna lean over. Mel, you have way with people. Could you find out if these are the beasties that the crows were talking about?
Well, of course we will check. I'm gonna just look for whoever looks like the most intelligent / leaderish person in the group.
Don't call them
There's
beasties
sort of a
to
lot
their
of different
face.
frogs in armor and stuff too. And I'm sorry, Bones, I think you were about to say something too.
Oh, I was also just gonna look for. So Mel, please go ahead.
Sounds good, sounds good. I'm gonna make all of you who want to look around actually use the move for it. That's right. I'm doing this entirely because I want to try the look around move because we haven't done it yet. It's fun because you get to ask me cool questions. So it sounded to me like Mel the barista is primarily looking around here. What kind of traits are motivating your inspection of this froggy village?
The only closest thing I've got is my friendly face one.
Yeah, I think that's
So
okay.
that's for more talking, but I could try to chat people up to see who is the kind of the leader of the group.
Yeah, I mean, you're gathering information, you're searching an area, you're trying to figure out the vibe here. It's really sort of strange. Like, they brought you in here to meet someone, but there was, like, just no one here for you to meet, so they're just kind of bringing you snacks. So you're going to roll a d6 for that one trait. I'm going to give you one more, because this is, I think, a pretty easy test, so take a +1. So you're actually going to roll 2 dice.
I got a 5.
A 5, brilliant. So this is fun because then I get to choose the question that you're going to ask. So if you had rolled a 6, you would have been able to choose, what's dangerous here, what's valuable here, what has recently happened here, what is hidden here. But instead, I am going to choose dun, dun, dun. And I will say what is hidden here is that the leader is really hungover.
We're used to that.
The Frog
Yeah,
King
yeah.
is just not ready to see you at this point. He's passed out in the swamp somewhere, and they're trying to find him.
Oh, somewhere. Okay.
That.
Well, that's good. I wonder how good the olfactory senses are on frogs,
Not great.
especially in the swamp. So I'm sure. Well, we've got our crow friends here. Do you guys think you could fly around to help us find the Frog King? We can't really go to the park without him because he's one of the guests of honor to our trip to the water park.
Not for free.
How about I promise you all a nice butter croissant?
All of us. The crow seems to raise an eyebrow as if it had one and fans out into about 50 crows in a small line.
That's a lot of croissants.
I don't have. You'll have to share them, but I'm sure you.
We're just teasing, and they'll shrink back into a smaller number of crows. An acceptable trade. And they fly off above you and go do a little bit of investigation. They'll come back rather
I'm
quickly.
concerned these crows are not crows.
Don't worry about it.
Something seems a little off about him.
They're our new friends. Maybe they'll move into the
totally
dungeon with us.
fine.
Then Monica will be praise us
Hey,
for bringing
maybe.
back more
Yeah.
minions.
Quite
Listen,
possible, quite possible.
If you want to sweep up dead crows from the traps, please be my guest. But unless you're
don't.
going to do it,
I already have a handful of feathers. I don't need any more. No.
speaking of, and Bones pulls up the hat and hands it over.
Well, what's a good dungeon without some flying animals or creatures around,
Ooh,
right?
that's a good question. Yeah.
Well, we don't have any
sure there's
bats in
ways
our
to
dungeon,
discuss.
so we can have
The
crows.
most annoying kind.
That is weird that you don't have any bats in your dungeon, though. Someone has to be eating them.
Kip, do you know who's eating the bats?
I immediately put on the hat.
Kip, are
Oh,
you
you
the
put
reason
on
why
the
the
hats?
decapitating
Nice.
axes are so high up? Do you keep adjusting them so that they get the bats?
Does this make me look like a frog person?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
I could fit it right in.
Not eating
Hang on.
bats.
They do seem very excited that you have a frog person hat. They're startled to see someone who's not a frog person wearing a frog person hat. They're very charmed by it, and they will bring you more snacks, which are bugs.
This
I
is
will
what
help eat
Kip-
the
He
bugs.
likes bugs.
After a pretty small amount of time, though, the crow horde will return and let you know that they have found the Frog King.
Awesome.
He's just over there, they say, moving their various heads in terrifying unison towards the swamp.
Who wants to come with me to see the Frog King? We need to wake him up. Thank you, Kip.
I have frog hat. I go.
Okay,
best.
we can all go meet the Frog King. Yay!
We're on a mission.
Yeah.
Y'all's on a mission. All right, you mission your way out there just a little bit into the swamp, just outside the village. There's a bit of a spring here. It's a bit of out of place in the swamp, but there's a circle of rocks and there's a hot spring kind of thing happening here. The water looks really nice and kind of smooth, except that it's full of mud and goop and slime and the biggest frog man you have ever seen, who is just lying over the edge, giant sunglasses on, his big old frog eyes, snoring the loudest you have ever heard anything snore.
Looks like it's a job for coffee.
Well,
I
take the
luckily
spring.
I have lots of experience with Demonica with her coffee brewing, so I will.
Keep take the glasses. Keep take the glasses. Keep take
Okay,
the
I'll wait.
glasses.
I'll wait a moment before I try waking him up.
Kip goes and plays with the sprang.
That's not the glasses.
On the
Keep.
glasses or like
Sproing,
the-
sproing.
You dork.
Kip, that's not even.
You didn't determine what kind
It's surprisingly splashy for a spring. It seems weird that it's a mystery.
Good morning, your frogginess. Would you like a cup of coffee?
As you say the word coffee, one of its eyes will blink open, looks towards you, and a tongue will shoot out and grab the coffee and pull the whole thing directly into his mouth. Is this in like a mug or like a to-go cup?
Good question.
I mean, probably to go.
Is it a mug?
There is a loud crunching noise as he eats the mug.
I'm in this picture and I don't like it.
Plans for later.
Slowly.
Invest in to-go mugs. I'm used to hosting people in our cafe, not in the world outside.
Of course, of course. He will start pulling himself slowly up out of the goop that he has created. Blink his eyes, totally not in unison at all towards you. And croak. What brings a barista here? Lightning strikes the distance. Horse's name. Frog
Monica,
God, explain. He looks towards you, Ravnos.
By the way,
give us a
donation to Ravnos.
Oh.
Ravnos starts to accumulate cats as he moves through the story.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
I'm here for it.
Do you
yeah,
have the Cerberus kitty with you?
Yeah. He's on
Yeah, okay,
All the
awesome.
birds we've already accumulated.
That's how we get the cats.
Of course, of course.
I give a salute. I don't know what frog people salute like, but I attempt it, and then I fix my.
I mean, are you able to do like a full proper salute?
I can try it.
He looks a little bit surprised. Croaks, such professionalism. Remind me to promote you.
I appreciate you and everything you do for the frog kind, my friend.
Let's at a big croaking laugh. Croaking laugh, croaking laugh, croaking laugh. I can only do a 90s anime villain laugh, okay? All I got is... I can't do a Frog King laugh. Don't worry about it.
Ara.
Everyone should just be a 90s anime villain. Wait, did someone just RR into the microphone? Great.
Yeah.
So, he's gonna pull himself to his feet and sort of get a handle on being vaguely awake here at this point. And then look sort of expectantly at you all.
Hi, we're here on behalf of Harmonica. We would like to help your people move to the water park because we heard that's what you guys were wanting to do, and so we're here to help you. Yes.
Croaks, right. I remember that from last night.
Busy night. Was it fun? Did you guys have a great time? Where did you go for drinks?
It was fun.
That's excellent. I
Water
love it.
park
Wasn't it
sounds
fun?
delightful, though. Well,
Yes,
summon
the water park.
the village. Where is the water park? He croaks.
That way.
It's at Gilmore.
Blink, blink. The village has a water park?
Well,
It
yes.
does.
We
Well, what
we
are
tested
you
it the other day to make sure it's working well, right, Teddy?
We did test it. Yes, it is study approved.
The slide is structurally integral.
Bones approved it too.
Such professionalism.
And I checked out the
Startled that you are
concession. It's
minions
great.
of Demonica. Well, lead us to it. He will lean back and let out the loudest croak you have ever heard. The swamp itself vibrates a little bit as this comes out, and a bunch of frog people start rampaging in this direction. This will, however, also get the attention of several small ocelots that are sort of, creeping and crawling across the tops of the trees here. We're going to poke their different faces out. Weep, 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 weep. 4 ocelots. They're looking at the crows. And then they're looking at Cerberus Kitty.
Just a big wave. Hello.
I think it's time to
They
go.
lift their
guys.
little paws and wave back at you.
Oh, those are the biggest cats I've ever seen. They're magnificent.
It's like a Minecraft biome. It's got to be ocelots in the swamp.
Imagine if we put a saddle on one of the ocelots for you.
Yeah, we wouldn't even need traps. At that
No, you
point, we
could
could
ride
get
it-
rid of some of the traps. That's less
You could
less
ride
work
it
for me.
into combat like a majestic kobold that you are.
What do?
We put the saddle. Pay attention, kid. We
Kim?
put saddle on the ocelot and you ride it into combat.
They point out to the
Fight who?
top of some trees. And there are 4 somewhat large cats up there in the tree. They're looking directly at you. One of them licks its lips.
Me?
Hmm.
Kip will lick his eyeball.
The Frog King seems impressed and will lick his eyeball right back at you. The ocelots, however, will start prowling further away from you.
Good old eyeball licks.
I've asserted my dominance.
Are the
Top of the
ocelots
food
going to
chain.
join us to go to the water park?
I mean,
Cats are
quite
notorious
possibly.
for not wanting to be in water.
Maybe they just want to sunbathe, though.
You are right,
There-
Mel.
there's a-
I did not mean to assume their desires for this water park. Thank you for making me a better person.
Oh, Teddy, you're amazing. Who's going to lead
Oh
the
my
way?
goodness.
I'll lead the way.
So-
Let's go.
They start maneuvering their way down towards y'all as you start heading out there. They're going to come try to greet Cerberus, Kitty.
Oh, I bring him down to their level. I'm gonna put actually my frog hat on top of Kip, promote him, and then
The Frog King will look at you and croak, "You have become shorter. Impressive. 2 promotions."
you're moving up in the world, Kip.
God damn it! How do I get a promotion? This is like Monica's like, or not Monica. Topana's like biggest goal.
You just need a hat, apparently.
It all boils down to a hat, my friends.
I'm on the
So
lookout
are you
for the
allowing the
hat.
kitty cats to interact with each other and become perchance fast friends?
100%. I'm gonna actually try to put the Cerberus kitty on top of one of the ocelots,
Oh,
if they will allow it.
it goes swimmingly. They totally do allow it. The Cerberus Kitty is now riding an ocelot around. You sort of get
Yes.
the impression that Cerberus Kitty is in charge of this arrangement. That is perhaps now ordering 4 ocelots around.
That has
I'm sure
to be
it's fine.
That has to be the Gustav head. It is the most tankerous.
Mhm. So, y'all head off towards the river again and the water park. You will have to cross the river yet again in order to get to the side with the village there. But up here from the swamp, you're not too far away from the village. And you sort of, pass through the giant pile of trees right into the open water. There's no bridge here, but frogs can swim. And the first thing that you notice is that, well, the village is there. The second thing you notice is several large plumes of smoke are coming from the village. The water park's a little off to the side, though. It doesn't seem to be smoking.
I smoke.
Oh,
Bonfire?
you're fine then.
Barbecue? I mean, there's barbecue going on.
Oh, that would be really nice to have a barbecue next to a water park.
I think it would be a great idea.
That's a good
Should we go
thing.
look? Should we go take a look? Snack first or water first?
Water park first. Let's get the mission done, guys. Then we celebrate.
Hang on, I'm just doing some really quick things here for some mysterious reason. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Is it getting weird feedbacky?
Are you
Okay.
using headphones?
There we go.
Not right now.
Okay, I think that's
Some-
why it's
for
cutting
some
out your
reason
voice
typing.
sometimes.
Keywords into a document for me. Oh yeah, it's probably doing noise reduction.
Yeah, so
It's
probably
gonna
for your
hear,
when you run your game, you might want to pop some in.
Okay, I'll see if I have any.
Oh, fingers crossed. There's some ways to
Yeah.
work around it if not.
If not, I can show you a couple settings. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Well, speaking of ways to work around things, you approach the river. There's a small burning village on the other side of it. You don't see any people across there. What do you do?
There's no people at the village, or there's no people at the water park.
Seemingly at neither. It's
Huh?
right on the river, about 100 meters away. Quite surprised that the frogs didn't know where this was.
Well, maybe they don't travel very often.
They don't.
Is it a holiday? Why is there no one using the water park?
No lineup.
The crows will say it might have something to do with the plumes of smoke.
I thought that was just a big barbecue.
Can you,
Yep.
can
One
you
can
guys
hope.
go check since you can fly and you're much safer than we are?
The crow will turn into several crows who all look at each other suspiciously, turn back into one. Not for free.
Oh, that is very creepy when you do that. You know this,
But
right?
you get to go to the water park after. Like, that's the reward, sort of. You know?
Yes.
All right, let's roll for that one. So it sounds like you are talking it over with the crow horde thing. So Bones, why don't we go for what traits feel applicable on this one? And let's roll some d6s.
What are the scene traits at the moment?
Oh, right, because we're just getting into the river again, so it's misty.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that I have any traits. I think this is going to be a flat roll.
Sure, sounds good. Then you're rolling one dice.
Yes. That's a 6, though.
Okay, awesome. So that is actually a success, but with a complication because you didn't have any dice for it. So it's going to be like they will demand something more in return. So the crows are going to say, exclusive access, 15 minutes. The water park only for us.
And Bones kind of turns over to the Frog King and says,
Does that work for you? Are you okay to hold off? Look, we can get you some snacks. We can get you all set up. You know, apply your sunscreen. The crows will have free reign for a little bit. And then, you know,
The Frog
we
King
can
will
all
do
share
it.
the water park.
Blinks on each side, shrug at you. Sure, he croaks.
All right. You heard the big boss. Can you check out the fire for us? Or the smoke or whatever's going on over there?
They're going to zoom across over there. In just a couple of moments here, they'll circle on back over to your end. And they will say, the village is burning. Chaos everywhere. Farm animals running rampant. People sheltering in the wilderness.
No, that explains everything. Then good job, Bones.
We'll be in the water park.
Have fun.
You earned
All
it.
right. Well,
They'll fly off in that direction.
the water park's free. That's for sure.
Do you think the town is like something we should be concerned about? Is this part of our responsibility, or should we really be focused on our primary goal of the water park? Do we think we need to insert ourselves into this whole problem with the town, or what?
Oh. If people leave, maybe they leave shinies behind.
Oh,
Looting.
you know, I was prepared to sit in the Tofana camp until you brought up the shinies that might be left behind, and I'm squarely in the keep camp now.
And
But if it's on fire, it might be dangerous to get the shinies until we put the fire out.
What do we think Demonica would want? Would she want us to steal from the village, or would she want us to put the fire out?
If we put the fire out, we can make the village pay tribute.
Does the village already pay tribute?
Bounce?
they can pay more tribute. Or alternatively, I'm thinking, well, what if there are shinies there that get melted in the fire? Right? There could be something very, very shiny.
Oh no!
We could bring it back to her. Then we'll all get promoted.
I am in the Bones camp right now. I have moved.
I love
Teddy's
y'all.
great at taking in new information and kind of changing
Okay,
his viewpoint.
Maybe one of us can finish
Absolutely.
leading our frog friends to the water park, and the others can help with the fire.
Keep is ambassador to frog people, so I volunteer him.
Ribbit?
He speaks frog.
Ribbit.
One of the frogs will look at you surprised and ribbit back.
Croak, croak, ribbit, ribbit, ribbit.
Excited ribbiting happens across the various frog people here. They seem quite pleased.
You kiss your mother with that mouth, Keep.
Kip doesn't have mother.
Kip's an orphan, remember? That's so.
All these.
Oh, it's okay,
Aw,
Kip.
poor Kip.
Kip has to settle for kissing
Demonic
your
could
mother.
be your terrible mother. She would be a terrible mom. Speaking of terrible moms, though, it sounds like y'all are making your way across the river here.
Huh.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it. There's no krakens here at the moment. They're currently enjoying the fish quite a lot, and the water is still quite mysteriously still, so you can make your way across it no problem. You make it up to the other side, a little bit soggy, but that's probably for the better. You're just showering before you go to the water park at this point. This is just like for, kindness. The frogs are very, very dirty, so maybe this is something you would appreciate on their way into the water park, actually, that they have to swim across the river. You pop on over there to the other side. Are you splitting the party? Kip, are you heading to the water park with the frogs while everyone else goes to the village, or what's the plan here?
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's-
secret communications happening.
Seek communications. Let's go straight in.
Straight into the water park?
Shinies.
I mean, the water park
Goes-
is right there. You could probably just point the frogs towards it.
And we'll need Kip's.
If
quick
Kip gets
fingers.
distracted by the shinies, Tafana is absolutely going to make sure these frogs do go to the water park.
Kip will direct the frogs to the water park, giving the two-fingered direction, much like a Disney employee, just this way.
Sounds good. You can sort of be like a lemming at the end of the thing and just like bouncing them in that direction, and they'll all keep wandering like in a frog tube towards the water park.
Can I roll to
Also,
see
you
if
don't
I send them the
necessarily
right
need to
direction?
escort them there, but yes, you should roll to see if you send them in the right direction.
I rolled a 6.
You do. Perfect. Well done. Well done. You've invented a move. Give directions.
I feel like it's like visible, is it not?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
but
right there and very obvious. It has like a big sign that says like water park brackets idyllic.
but then right next to it, there's a slide that says there's like a slide that goes down into like a meatpacking plant.
Wrong lever!
Wrong lever. It's got like a bunch of buzzsaws down the middle.
Why do we even have that
unless you
slide?
are food?
Yeah. There's a little
Frog
black
legs
diamond.
for everyone.
It's written in
Those
French. We
frogs.
can't tell.
Conveniently, they can. They'll saunter, well, I guess hop off towards the water park and start having what seems like a particularly wonderful time. Ahead of you is a burning village. What do you do?
Do
Alright,
we think
Bones.
the Kraken might want to help put out the fire?
That's a big ask. Do you have any more fish, Mel?
I never had fish to begin with. I was just rather lucky with a quick summoning spell.
They might be happy now that they're all fed.
Listen, look, clocks are ticking, time's are burning, quite literally. I'm thinking, there's a lot of water at the water park. If we
Oh.
could divert the water from the water park onto the fires.
Kip will reach into his cloak and pull out one of his items, a bucket.
And that'll do it.
He'll hand the bucket over.
Perfect.
If you just have bucket in
I mean,
your
there
cloak?
is also a river here. You could just take water from the river. Or from the water park. The water park might be more fun.
Does anyone have a way to get the water out of the river or into the fire? I feel
Bucket.
like
That's where we have the
that's
bucket.
where our problem lies.
Bucket
But I
go
think we
and
need
water
a
come out.
lot of buckets.
How big is the fire? Can I look around to see the scale of what we're dealing with?
It does certainly look like most of the village is on fire.
Okay.
Quite
I feel like
large.
the bucket
It is
might
rather
not
significant.
be the whole
Uh,
solution.
I'm gonna use one of my shinies to reach into a shed nearby that's not on fire and pull a mining pick. And I'm
Perfect,
gonna go
yeah.
create a tributary from the river closer to us. Pull some of that water over.
You're just gonna start diverting the river. You are massive, so you know what? This will have a little bit of an impact. You can start diverting the river generally over towards the burning village.
Come on, kitty cats, you can help dig with your big paws. I'm gonna take the ocelots with me.
They will look to Cerberus for directions, but then they will start doing so, and they'll dig along and start making a channel to divert a tiny amount of water in towards this burning village. Things that you do notice, however, in the village, there's a couple of pigs.
Is there a
Wandering
water
around.
tower in the village?
Yes, there's a massive water tower in the middle.
If we poke a hole in the right spot, it might drain the water in the right way.
We can find a
Good
hose and
idea.
hook it up and just start spraying from the water tower.
Okay, check the shed, see if there's a hose. I will start climbing up to the water tower then.
Can
On
we
it,
just
boss.
like
Sounds
put
good,
some
sounds
holes
good.
in it so it sprays out?
Yeah, make a giant
Everywhere?
sprinkler.
Yeah. Just put holes in
Where
it.
can I
So
have
it
that?
sounds
Can
like
I have them pick?
You're dashing into a burning village to punch a bunch of holes into a water tower, which feels like you will be perhaps avoiding danger because you're attempting something without regard for the consequences. So if you're running into the village, there
Where's
are
the
no
water? The water's
baristas,
safe.
lightning crackles. Do you want to make me a roll?
We're gonna be in the safest possible place, surrounded by water.
Exactly.
We just have to get
I'm
there.
picturing this being like just a cartoonishly large water tower, and like it's kind of teetering. It's got like, you know, lots of random nails sticking out of it. It's barely attached at this point, anyways. But
Okay,
again,
I got a
I got
4.
6.
I
got
also
a 4. Okay. So you could make it to the water tower and leap your way up there to do so.
There's a ladder,
however-
I'm sure.
In the process, you will have to run and jump on top of a pig.
Does the pig have a giant hat?
It does.
Okay. Run and jump on top of a pig. Can I try to take the hat while I'm jumping on it?
You totally can, yes.
Sweet.
So how does this look? Do you do like a big dramatic running jump up towards the water tower?
It's not very dramatic, but yes. Run and jump on top of
You
the
just do like a
I'm
little
not the most
dramatic
agile
scramble.
person
You
in the
jump on
world.
top of the pig, you grab the hat, and you go to reach up into the water tower. And however, dunt, there is a character here with an adventurer trait. The adventurer trait is ambush, and I am using it. I guess it's surprise, not ambush. You're gonna have to take harm here. The pig is going to turn around and bite you in the arm dramatically, taking a big chunk out of you. It is painful. It is the worst. It is horrible. The pig will let go of you and look up at you. This pig has a little mustache. And the pig will say, "Salutations, noble minions. Bold of you to come towards me into the realm of pig butt, noblest of all the pigs. Have at thee." And the pig will lunge towards you, snapping with its piggy mouth. What do? This pig is absolutely an adventurer.
I am going to.
Oh, we also need to roll on harm too, because you have taken harm. It does just straight up
Yeah.
at you. So you do need to roll 1d6 to see if you die. Just get murdered by a pig. You probably won't die. You have zeal.
I got a 5.
Okay, you're fine. You don't have to spend zeal to stay up. But this does hurt. You just got bit by a pig.
I'm gonna say
Well, pig bird specifically, noblest of all the pigs.
Say- I may be a minion, but I am here to. I don't know. Something.
Shave that mustache off his face,
Can that
man.
be what
I'm
you
here to
say,
brew
though?
coffee and kick
Can it
ass.
be
That's
what you
all
say?
I
Kick ass
got.
and
made
eat
you a
bacon.
minion.
This
I
is
may be
something,
here to
something.
All out of
I'm
ass.
you know what? I'm gonna throw a sausage at the pig.
Are you
Oh my
trying
god,
to
can you
harm
imagine
the
getting
sausage
beaten with the
tots?
like a what's the sausage made of for added impact?
Sausage is probably made out of pork.
Oh
and,
god, being beaten with your cousin. Like, come on.
Crime?
and it is very, very highly poisonous.
Of course. It sounds like you're trying to actually do harm to the pig by wailing on it with a giant sausage.
Or I'm actually trying to
so-
get it to eat the poisonous sausage to kill itself, but
Oh gosh. Well, to
it's a
start,
pig. It's a sausage. You'll eat it.
probably would. Why don't we make a get violent roll here? Because you're swinging dramatically at it with a giant sort of.
Okay.
Poor pig birds, the noblest of all pig kind.
Well, I will. Can I use my motivation to kill overconfident fools?
Yes?
Because the pig sounds overconfident.
Oh, just you wait.
I got a very lucky 2.
Got a very lucky 2. Great. Okay, so you swing the sausage dramatically at Pigbert. Pigbert is going to grab the sausage in his teeth and slap you across the feet with it, knocking you to the ground.
Ouch.
He'll drop it and say back at you in a dramatic voice. It seems almost as if a Spanish guitar is somewhere in the background. You dare swing at me with my own kind? Don't you know that I am the master of all pigs? Dun dun dun! Trumpets blare and several other pigs appear around, ominously singing, chanting pig tunes to sort of give you some cool combat music. Womp womp womp. But like oink, so like oink 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 oink. You know, the usual.
I did
gonna
not
wing
see
the
these
soundtrack
tables
on that.
turn.
Don't worry about it. What's everyone else doing here? Your barista is being insulted by a particularly dashing pig with a mustache.
Who doesn't have a hat anymore, at least?
Yep.
I know. Just the worst.
After searching the shed for a hose, I'm assuming Bones would have run in after Mel. So
That sounds good. I should also say that the scene right here is on fire. Just so you're aware.
I'm gonna drop the
So you're
pig.
rushing it afterwards? Oh, sorry,
gonna
go ahead.
I'm gonna drop the mining pick and rush in and Zangief the pig up over my
Zangief
head.
the pig.
I'm just gonna pick
Okay.
him up over my head, twirl, and then just bring him down. Nobody hurts
sounds
my barista.
Delightfully violent. Ooh, nobody hurts your barista. Let's go, let's go. So this sounds like a violent activity here. What traits feel relevant to this?
On fire.
Like throw
Maybe?
him into the fire?
Yeah, you know what? Let's throw him into the fire.
Yeah, 100% a relevant trait there.
Yeah,
Have a
and
little
then
barbecue?
my big padding
The fire,
on my
so
hands and
really.
feet.
Yeah, that could work too. I think we're at least 2.
Yeah. I'm good with that, I think.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, so a 3 and a 2 means that it doesn't go according to plan.
It does not go according to plan. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna be a little bit kind to you in the move of choice here. So you're gonna grab Pigbert by the scruff and go to throw him dramatically into the fire. Pigbert will, however, instead deftly leap out of your grasp, doing a majestic pirouette and kicking his little hooves off the side of the water tower and landing onto the ground. Where he kicked off the side of the water tower, however, will bend a little bit and make a very ominous cracking sound.
This pig is
What are the rest of y'all
majestic.
doing?
Listen,
Trying to put
pal.
holes in this water tower.
Hang on, go ahead, Bones.
Listen, pal. I got a bone to pick with you.
and I'm gonna dislodge my arm on purpose this time and huck it at the pig.
You just like whip this at the pig. Okay, it sounds violent to me as well. What traits feel relevant to this role?
Well, I have bony
Oh, and also
limbs.
y'all should remember you can spend zeal to get an auto success, including on combat.
Ooh.
Oh, all right. I have
forgot about that.
bony limbs from being a skeleton.
Yeah, that'll do.
Detachable, throwable, that'll do.
Yeah.
Okay, I will roll the 2 dice then. Well, that was a 6 on the first one there. So
Okay, awesome, amazing. So this means you actually get to choose 2 from the get violent rule here.
all right, let me grab that.
So the way that this works is that typically the opposite will happen if you don't choose it. So you can choose that you don't take harm, you deal harm to them, you get them out of the way, you can sort of move them or change their circumstance, or you take something from them. So which 2 would you like to choose?
I will deal harm to them and get them out of the way,
Okay, awesome, possum.
preferably into the fire.
That sounds great. So I think the way this is going to work is you're whipping your entire arm at Pigbert, the most noble of all pigs, and just slams him directly in the face. It's clearly pretty painful, pretty obnoxious. Not Pigbert's finest moment, getting slapped in the face with a random skeleton arm. However, the skeleton arm will then start skipping across the ground a little bit in front of him and come to a stop. And he's going to chase it because, like, free bones. He's not giving up the free bones. Like, come on. He'll even say dramatically, Spanish guitars play free bones, and scoot off after them.
They're not free. That's mine. That's mine.
And I start chasing after him.
Sounds good. What are y'all doing?
I'm going after this water tower.
Going after the water tower? Sounds good. What are you doing to the water tower?
Was there a pickaxe at one point involved in something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would like
I think Teddy's dropped it.
I would like to take that to the water tower.
Gonna run up to. Are you taking the pickaxe to like the support structure? Are you trying to get it to the top of the
No,
water
I'm
tower
trying to like put
holes?
holes in the water containing part.
Okay, awesome. I feel like you would probably need to climb the thing to get up there.
I would, yeah.
Which sounds like you are acting without regard for the giant dramatic consequences. So please make an avoid danger roll for me.
Is 1d6?
It's however many traits you feel are relevant to your action in the fiction. Just like what's motivating your character, what tools you're using. How many shiny was this pickaxe?
Just a 1.
Is 1? Okay,
I
yeah.
feel like just a
The
boring
pickaxe doesn't add anything right now. Unless you add shiny to it. You could combine costs to be 2, like make it a fancy pickaxe somehow.
The motivation I would have here would just be like, like trying to prove myself, like try to get ahead and prove myself. So I feel
yeah.
like
Yeah, I think that fits for sure.
So 2d6?
Sounds good to me.
Oh, I got 2 and a 1.
Oh dear. So you're about to mark experience because you've botched. I think you're the first botch, actually. So that's pretty rad. Congratulations. So I'm gonna make a DM move here. But hang on, wait, go ahead, Kelly.
There's a donation that just came in, $15. Just letting it load. Come on. Many cats. Not many cats. Come
Running
on.
in slow motion.
A ritual is completed that causes magical rain of Sakabombat piss to fall from the sky. I think it's that fish.
Hang on. I gotta look this up.
So it's S-A-C-A-B-A-M-B-A-S.
Sakabum baspis, right? It's like the fish with the little silly eyeballs.
Yeah, it's the fish
On
with
the
the
front
little
of
silly
it,
eyeballs.
it looks like a weird tube. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
an extinct jawless fish. That sounds great. So we're gonna roll on how that goes, but let's resolve this critical fail first. So, I need you to give me a one-word prompt for how this goes wildly off the rails for you.
Jumping?
Sounds good. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So you leap up to, dramatically slam your pickaxe into this thing, and you will totally do it. You successfully come up there, you slam your pickaxe into the top of the water cooler, and it turns out that you have momentum, and this water cooler is not in great condition. You are going to start pulling the whole thing down on top of you. For you, this is happening in slow motion, but for everyone else, this might be all too quickly. In this moment, as you're plummeting towards your potential horrible demise, what are you learning from this?
I am learning to respect the laws of physics.
That sounds good. So you can mark down respect the laws of physics under experience for you. And then you can call that as a trait later if you want to. If something feels relevant to the experience involving the laws of physics with a future roll. So for the rest of you, the water tower is now collapsing basically towards all of you with a particularly delightful salamander hanging onto it, learning some lessons about physics. And I got to make a dice roll to see how well the fish summoning works. Oh no. Why do I keep rolling backfire on all of these? So we'll get there in a moment. So what do you do?
I'm going to, how bad's the bite in my arm?
I mean, it's quite painful, but you certainly have some more harm left still. It's not a lethal bite. You'll heal the harm in a long rest. So.
Okay. I'm going to pick up the sausage that wasn't eaten and continue to try climb up the water tower.
The water tower is actively plummeting towards you right now.
Oh, get out of the way of the water tower. It's coming towards me. Okay, I'm going to get away from it.
Yeah, sort of towards all of you at this point. I think except for Bones, who threw with a nice sensible distance his arm.
Oh, could I try catch our poor salamander friend?
Oh yes, this sounds like a great plan to me. Please prepare to make an avoid danger roll for me, and let me know what traits are relevant. We're getting that ready. Kip, what's Kip up to?
Watching in horror and Also, trying to offer helpful suggestions to the pigs that are remaining.
That sounds good. There's a bunch of pigs like sort of oinking in an oink chorus to try to give cool boss fight music to their piggy boss. They're certainly open to choral suggestions. If you just oink at them, they'll seemingly understand what you say.
Oink, 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 oink,
Sounds
oink,
great.
oink,
You've joined the
oink,
oink
oink,
chorus.
oink.
The
Yeah,
music
basically.
changes pace a little bit. The piggy music has improved. And all right, what traits feel relevant to this, and what's your total pool?
I don't think I have any traits really relevant unless you think friendly face for saying it's gonna be okay. I've got you. It's gonna be acceptable.
I guess that's up to the salamander here. How
Is that reassure the salamander to drop
Yeah, how
nicely?
does Tofana feel about this? Is this a reassuring face for Tofana, or is this a non-reassuring face? It's a barista. Lightning strikes, horse's neigh.
This is more reassuring than that bare ground that is also on fire.
Take the +1 for us.
Okay. 6! Yay!
Hey, amazing. So complete success, no cost. You are going to scoop your salamandery friend into your arms and pull her away from danger as this water tower crashes into the ground. Teddy, what are you doing? Are you standing here as this thing plummets towards you, or are you moving?
No, that is a bad idea, I think.
Probably, yes.
I'm gonna chase Hogbert or
Pigbert, the most
Pigbert.
noble of all the hogs.
This guys. And
Get the Ocelot army.
Teddy is perturbed. Nobody has slipped away from his Zangief maneuver before. This requires
It's a very talented pig.
Slippery pig.
This requires a very different task. So I'm gonna try to rush over, pick up Kip in the process, and throw him at the pig.
So you like run out of the way of this like falling water tower and just yeet your kobold at the pig.
Yes, it's time
Sounds
to get
good
to
to
work,
me.
Kip.
It sounds like you're trying to get violent in this case, because the goal of this is to do harm in the narrative. Kip, are you doing anything to prevent yourself from being a weapon, or are you just oinking to the
Oink?
chorus as you get yeeted?
Oink, oink, oink. No, he's gonna roll up in a ball. That is his protective instinct.
Sounds particularly beneficial.
the one
Hey,
too
take
special.
+1 dice for having a nice, convenient ball-shaped kobold on this roll.
Excellent. So 4 and 2. So I'll take the 4.
Okay, awesome. So you're gonna get to choose one. Is that you don't take harm, you deal harm to them, you get them out of the way, or you take something from them.
Oh,
Take everything from them.
yeah. Kip, take his mustache right off his face.
That sounds perfect. So you're gonna whip Kip in convenient orb format towards Pigbert, the most noble of all of the pigs, or hogs. I think I said hogs last time. Spanish guitar plays. Kip, you have the perfect opportunity. You can see it between your rotations, that majestic mustache precariously perched on the little piggy snout. With just one talon, you could scoop the whole thing off. Do you do so?
Yes.
Sick free mustache. This sounds great. You rip the whole thing off. Pigbert is going to seem deeply offended. And it's actually going to start scrambling out of here without the mustache. Tears appearing to arrive in his little terrifying piggy eyes. Pigs have weird eyes. He'll start skulking off down the street. Be warned, minions. I will come for the harmonica in time. Spanish guitar plays. You can't protect it forever. Oink, oink, oink. And a chorus of oinks will continue from around you as the pigs all disperse into the who knows where. They just sort of vanish.
Is it possible to use my mastermind perk to
Oh,
have
yes, totally.
the arm that I threw have been holding on to the hose the entire time?
Yeah.
And I'm holding on to the other end of the hose. And am I able to sort of lasso it around this pig?
Yes, you can try to capture the pig to prevent him from escaping. That sounds good to me.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
I guess let's figure out what traits feel relevant for this one and we'll make it a roll. I'm not entirely sure specifically what move this is. Like, I guess it could be get violent. But we might swap it up a little bit. We'll put the pool together and then figure that one out. And then also, I'm being very nice to you for some reason right now, Teddy. Don't worry about it. Just for anyone who knows the system is like, shouldn't something bad happen? Don't worry about it. It's fine. Bad things will happen in a moment. I'm simply delaying something.
the hose enough as a tool to justify an extra die?
I think so. Yeah, go for it.
All
It's a
right.
very fancy hose.
And how about my bony little fingers now detached, tying the knot?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's do a 3 dice pool and let's see what happens. Okay, that's a 5 on the highest.
5 on the highest. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so I think that this is sort of a get violent, but we'll change, like, get them out of the way to be like you secure them or something like that instead. Is that sort of your goal here?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. So you've managed to lasso Pigbird. For the moment, he's certainly not escaping. The various pig chorus seems to like pause in their escape, and they're sort of like awkwardly shuffling a little bit. It's sort of an awkward moment for everyone. However, it's about to become so much more awkward because I need both of you to take me harm.
Oh no.
Ginormous fish, bigger than each of you, plummet from the sky, face down, tiny, beady little eyeballs. Each of you are immediately in these giant fish's mouths. For you, Ravnos, this is more like a particularly unflattering hat. For you, Bones, you are now inside a very large fish. More of them start splatting across the village as they just sort of fall inexplicably from the sky. These fish are probably twice the size of a person. As you see them coming down, even at a rapid fish-related from the sky speed, you can't help but notice their dorky little eyeballs and their silly little face. If you want to see what these look like, I'll post it in our chat here. It's Scabambaspis. They're a ridiculous meme fish.
The Scatman fish.
And they're perfect. They are plummeting from the skies all around you, splattering in horrible fishy goop. Those 2 of you who took harm, please roll me 1d6 and let me know if you rolled even or less than your harm.
Rolled greater. I rolled a 4.
Awesome
These
possum.
are also the jazz fish.
They might be jazz fish in time, yeah.
It's the scat
How about
fish.
For rolling harm, did you roll higher or less than the harm you've taken so far? Or equal to 2?
No higher, because I only have the 1 harm. Unless
You
I
rolled
earn
higher.
more.
Okay, awesome possum. Well, then you're okay this time. Although you do have giant fish sort of on you, you'll have to detangle yourselves from. And for about the next 30 seconds, it rains fish just everywhere.
Hallelujah.
How
It
did we
must
not
be a
know
Tuesday.
that it was the yearly event of the Sagabababasis?
I mean, of course, of course.
It feels like Sakabombascus
Stop it.
comes earlier every year.
Every year.
It does. They should really stay in November.
Global
Climate
warming.
change, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's right.
About how many fish was it that fell?
Enough.
Innumerable, countless. At least
like,
several
for
fish for
us,
each
that's
of
like
you.
6
Probably
or
every
7.
probably every 2 meters there's a fish now, as far as you can see.
Can I
What is the state
run
of the
back to
fire?
the river?
Oh,
Are the
And-
fish being
we
cooked?
should get there too.
Does this smell great?
This smells awful. As for the fire, the water tower has collapsed. You were saved from its dramatic collapse, and there's water splooshing out all over the place. And the village will actually start no longer being in the fire, but is now sort of steadily becoming a swamp. This whole circumstance might just be the coolest thing the frog people have ever experienced. You've given them a whole new town, you've given them a whole new water park, you've given them a completely ridiculous amount of super bizarre extinct fish. They're having the time of their life here, and they're gonna party it up all day long in this water park.
Can we invite the
Yeah, Dan.
Krakens to come enjoy this fish feast?
Are the
Oh,
cats also
absolutely.
interested in the fish?
1000%, yes.
Oh, yeah.
The ravens too, although they're mostly just arguing with the krakens about the law of how they own all the fish. And the crows are doing whatever it is that they're doing. I think for a while, Bones, the crows will sort of sit on your head like a hat, where they form like a mysterious sphere that looks kind of like a fedora, but you know it's crows.
Oh, can I loot a hat from the burning rubble?
Oh, I'm
There's
going to
lots of
give
pig hats
give
in
the
there.
hat I stole to Teddy.
Sounds good, sounds good.
Everybody gets
So
a
we're
hit.
sort of in the last moments here. I want to make sure we got 10 minutes to close
Is
this up and
Bones
chat
still in
little
a
bit
fish?
before we end. Yeah, I think we all have the chance to escape the fish.
slowly sort of removed it as it's engulfed my skeleton.
Yeah,
Bones.
you
We're
can
gonna
stick
make
your
this
arms
fish
out.
into a nice outfit for Bones.
Bones, don't
Wait,
try
sorry,
to wear
go
the
ahead.
sacabampasis.
That's an interesting hat.
Yeah, don't. That's not a good look on you.
It's not a good look on anyone.
I appreciate the fashion advice. It's mostly about the smell. For me, especially on the inside, it's no good.
A little bit avant-garde.
It's what's
I
inside
don't
that
know the
counts.
nose, but it's about what the soul experiences.
I'm learning so much about you.
That's not a soul. That's a scabadobombastus.
Memory of fish hat.
Somebody could turn this into a song in the future, I hope.
Christ. Y'all are so perfect.
I think it'd be a nice ballad.
So, giant frog people party is happening here at the water park. What are the last in-character actions that y'all do today before your shift ends? Do y'all get paid?
Make sure that we get the scroll from the Frog King.
They'll give you the location, but they don't have the scroll. It's in another swamp.
I'm sorry, what was the
Another
scroll
road
for?
trip.
We were supposed to get a scroll at some point? What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a scroll that you needed to summon
Yeah.
demons for the staff party.
Yeah, for the
This is why
gabagool.
you're not getting a promotion.
Oh, that was like 20 note pages back. Oh my god.
Yeah, for the
The scroll of
gabagool.
Gabagool.
I have like 6 pages of notes on fish. And...
All you need is the
They'll
picture.
give you that location, and that will have to be a future adventure for this particular bundle of merry minions. Pigbert is secured and will not escape. You may do with Pigbert what you wish. You could make bacon.
Barbecue.
Well, unfortunate. An ongoing villain has now been defeated. What were Pigbert's adventure things? I think Pigbert had ambush, armored, and
Delicious.
Oh, what was the other one? I'm gonna say
Smoky
delicious.
flavor.
There was another one though.
Yeah, smoked. That's his
Smoked
other
ham.
term.
Surprise.
Salty, yeah. Salty works as an adjective for many reasons.
Oh, hidden, but I didn't really use it. Oh no, I had annoying, not hidden. Never mind.
Oh, so he's
It just means that they
chewy?
can come back. But Pigbert
He's just
seems
like
deeply annoying,
using your
so-
teeth the whole way.
Yeah, just like the worst meal you've ever had.
Good picks.
Does anyone
Between
have a
every
floss
bite, you
pick?
hear little bits of Spanish
Indigestion.
guitar.
That happens when that happens. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get it. Anytime
So
I go
you're
out for
gonna get a
barbecue.
very good Yelp review from the Frog King. You've succeeded in this mission. You now have a scroll that you know to go find cool demons for the staff party, and you'll have to set off on that adventure next time. Please take shiny, all of you, so you can turn it into cool items later if you wanted to. And thank you so much for playing this ridiculous game with me. I had a lot of fun. This is such a fun way to start the day. I hope you all had fun too.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I did. Sorry, I'm just taking off my fake face, putting on my real face. It was good.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, brilliant. I appreciate this. You got to do the little bappy hands. You got to do the bappy hands. Beautiful, wonderful, deeply amazing. We should probably do some little outro stuff. Are y'all cool if we do it in inverse order this time? So that would be starting with Amancio. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. So why don't we just do, name, pronouns, who you were playing, any pertinence, like socials where we can find you, any random stuff that you want to say. You can just yell Pigbert lives or whatever you want to do.
Pigbert lives!
That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. But are you cool with starting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
Hello, everyone. Goodbye, everyone. My name has been Amancio. Pronouns are he, they. It's been a pleasure to play here today for a great cause. And thank you all for being here as well. On socials, you can find me manci.pater on Instagram. That's manci.pater. I'm part of the Fayfinders podcast. I've been here as a guest of Dork Tales. You can find us on social media at Fayfinders. That's FEYFINDERS. We have a D&D podcast. It's fantastic. We're entering our 3rd season, and it's been phenomenal. So thank you for having me here, Dork Tales. It's been a pleasure. And I'm excited to see how this whole weekend goes.
Thank you so much for being here. It's been such a pleasure too. Also, I really apologize. I think I missed the N in your name there, so I will not miss it next time. But thank you so much. It's been so lovely having you here, and I hope that I get to play games with you again at some point in the future. Y'all do such rad work.
Yeah,
over there, so
you
it's
actually,
been really nice.
I think you will tomorrow?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, right. That's right. Right.
Yeah,
Because
it's tomorrow morning.
To camp.
we're
I'll let
doing
you guys start.
D&D together.
Yes,
I'm
reunion.
excited. I'm going to wear a big dramatic hat. I'm very excited for that one.
I'm picking up my costume. So we'll see.
Oh, I've only decided I'm going to be wearing a big dramatic hat. I have no idea what else I'm doing. We'll figure it out after that. All right. So on my inverse order list, we've got Dale, then Tasha, then Ravnos, then Kelly, and then myself. So Dale, if you're ready.
So my name's Dale. I was playing Mel the barista, and I've now drank a little too much coffee, but that's okay. I'll be ready for Tasha's game next. And I have no socials that you can really find me on the internet. You can just bug Dork Tales because, yeah, I'm a happy patron of Dork Tales. And yeah, great. I think this is my fourth time with the Extra Life fundraiser. But yeah, I'll see you guys at the next game if you're following along. Bye.
Such a pleasure to have you, even if you were a barista. Lightning, horse's name. Speaking of lightning and horse's name, Tasha, tell us about yourself. Tell us who you were playing. Tell us where to find you. Tell us what you do. Tell us how cool you are.
Hello, I'm Natasha. You can find me here on Twitch at Natasha Tuskovich Designs and elsewhere on the internet as well. We do co-working and lots of creative streams. Today I was playing a little salamander who was trying very hard to get promoted, and I had an excellent time. This is a fun game. I've never done this one before. And yeah, I had a great time with everyone. Up next, I am running the Hollow and the Gemgrams game, which is basically a gem and the holograms game. So if you like badly sung music, musical episodes, come check us out because it's going to be really fun and crazy and lots of 80s wildness.
I'm really excited for that one too. I gotta see how much more poofy I can make my hair in the next 30 minutes.
Me too, right?
I was trying to be somewhere in between. I'm like, can I be like kind of a He-Man villain, but then also extremely ready to at any time be from the 80s? So we'll see how well I can put that together. I'm really excited for that game too. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Speaking of really rad beans, I'm excited about Hey Ravnos. Well, what you up to? Tell us about yourself.
Hello, everybody. I hope you guys had a good time with me and Teddy. I am the Ravnos Archon. I do mostly tabletop RPG stuff here on Twitch. I use he, him pronouns, they, them. I'm pretty flexible. And I just wanted to have a good time, help out with the Dork Tales people because they're fantastic people, great beans, and it's a great cause. And I'm happy that we got to do this together.
I'm so thankful we were able to have you. This is really fun. Sorry, I'm just seeing some cursed things sent in. It's really nice.
I'm sorry, that's the best copy paste mistake I've ever seen in my life.
Hang on, some context here. We're about to hear from Kelly too, but I'm just going to take the words away from her for a moment here. We're sharing like potential backgrounds for the next game here, but just pasted the word. So we got the sentence. How is this for your background? The word. Sack of baskets.
I can just Photoshop that so it's just that repeating if you want.
I thought
That
you were
sounds
fully
beautiful.
serious.
Oh,
I thought it was your actual intent.
Just the Google image search, just screenshot that.
Just that? That's maybe.
One can hope. Well,
Yeah.
speaking
Lisa
of beautiful beans and terrifying fish, Kelly, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm a beautiful
Who you
bean
been?
and
Where
a
can we find
terrifying
you?
fish. Hi everybody, I'm Kelly. I'm partially a lizard person, partially a performer and streamer. You're on my channel, you know what's up. Thank you so much for coming and supporting Extra Life. We are at 6% of our goal for the year. We are at $1,178.86 United States dollars, which is like 50,000 Canadian dollars right now. It's pretty good. That's a good start. So keep rolling that in. I am excited to be here, and I'm sorry if Kip was a little scatterbrained. I was adjusting some last minute things through a lot of game, being like, crap, this is exploding. Why did I put myself in the first game?
I very much anticipated you being quite busy and multitasking. I was pretty intentional in the game too, so I hoped it was a nice and flexible one.
It's okay. Like Kip was particularly dim-witted, so that helped. Also, I have this thing on right now, and like, watch this. They actually took the effort to add eyebrow wiggles to the skull.
Just in case. And also you do like a whole little like fanned out dramatic bearded dragon thing. It's beautiful. I'm glad that you can finally express the delightful bearded dragon that we always knew you were.
Well, I mean, like, if I was expressing myself, it would probably be, nope. Nope. There's my true self.
Nope,
there we go.
nope.
There we go.
This makes me want to play a Dragonborn.
I do like the eyebrows in that one. That's quite nice.
Oh wow, yeah.
Speaking of eyebrows and being quite nice, now I'm segueing into myself here. Hi. I have been Millie, my pronouns are she and her or they and them. You can find me here all weekend long. You can also find me pretty darn often at my own channel at twitch.tv/bunnyhearted, where I'm a cozy, comfy, retro 90s anime styled VTuber. Do my best to build a warm, welcoming, and inclusive vibes kind of space. I love you all so much. This is so much fun. This is a game I've been wanting to run for ages, and I really appreciate the opportunity to do so. And I cannot wait to be in and to watch the rest of the games this weekend. I'm so proud to be with y'all supporting this red cause. Like I said, this is a cause that means so much to me. I spent so much of my childhood years in a children's hospital, and it's just really nice to be able to support a cause that helps other kids get those same kind of opportunities. Because I wouldn't be here if I wasn't like lucky enough to receive that kind of care. So, yeah. Hearts.
Much
Hearts
love
for
to you,
all of
Mel.
y'all. 80s hair
Heart.
for all of y'all's too. I like the mustache. Oh, that was a nice heart. We gotta figure that one out. Hang on. Oh, that's so cool. Hang on. You're inspiring me to figure out new ways to do hearts now. Nice. All right, so we have 3 minutes. What do we want to do for the next 3 minutes? Do we want to like flip things
Dance
upside
party.
down? Do you want to go totally chaos mode? Dance? I like the hat.
Yeah, the hat's very Jamiroquai.
I'm getting ready for the next game.
I'm so
Mhm.
proud
Yeah,
that
that's
someone
fair,
else
that's
besides
fair.
me knows Jamiroquai.
Kelly knows this hat. He was there when
Maybe
I
I
bought
should
it.
just wear like a big
Oh, God.
dramatic hat.
Yes, it's
Like, I
that
think-
old, Kelly. It's just the lighting's
Am I
bad.
the keyboardist?
We're
I think I'm
all
the
old, it's fine.
keyboardist. I can wear like a big dramatic hat. That'll be nice. We all gotta have dramatic.
This is
Oh,
my
now that's
latest.
Oh, nice.
That's
I
incredible.
got my backup hat
Holy
here.
So fancy.
crap.
That's a big hat.
Backup
You-
hat.
If Tasha, if your house ever has a fire, you can parachute out.
Correct.
Mhm.
It is
fan flames.
multifunctional.
Hey,
and
I
it
have
has
a
a
extra
giant
life
flower.
structuring question here. How do
Which I'm gonna
breaks
wear for
work? What's
Gem.
happening between games? We have like
So
30
between
minutes for the next
breaks-
one, right?
We're mostly just gonna chill. So there's gonna be some
Gonna
cool
play
music
music.
playing, and we're
Sounds
just gonna
nice.
kind of jam. And occasionally I'll pop in and say some stuff to ask people to throw money at us. It'll be good.
That sounds beautiful. And oh my gosh, that hat is so nice. I love the flower on
I'm
it.
really
too.
hoping this hat is like too wide for the Twitch frame.
It is.
It
It's
has-
way too wide.
Has accessories.
So folks, we'll be back in
Like
just a couple. Well, we'll be back at noon o'clock Pacific. So in a half hour, we'll be back with Gem and the Holograms, or Hollow and the Gemgrams. So if you don't want to leave, you could just like stay streaming. Just stay. Well, I'm not going to shut off the stream. Just hang
That's
out.
true. That's true. That's true. We're gonna vibe the whole time.
Don't
Dun,
change
dun.
that channel.
Mm.
That's right. We'll be
Don't.
back after
Which way
these
looks
messages.
better?
Lo-fi
Don't change
plays
that
for 30
channel.
minutes.
I'm down with that. All right. So thank you so much for donating so far, folks. We're at almost $1,200. That's a big start. We'll see you in a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
All right.
Bye.
Take care, y'all.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Whoop. And we're out. And I'm going to mute you.
Ah, that was fun.
All right. They can hear me. They can't hear you. And now they can't hear me. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into Extra Life. I hope you're having an amazing time. We're having an amazing time. You're amazing. We're amazing. Everything is amazing. You know what would be even more amazing, though? If you went and helped support kids in need. That's right. These kids are in need, and you have the power to help them. It's like being a superhero that uses your wallet. That's right. You, too, can be Batman. You can do that right now by going to extralife.org and team/dorktales and go donate to some players. Give to the people with who are on the team that have like played so far and are the furthest from their goal. Go help them out because they could really use you. And you know who else could really use you? Those kids. So do what you can and please enjoy the game. We'll be back in just a few minutes with our next session. Talk to you soon. Apparently I did a Batman laugh. I don't know what's the Batman laugh like. Hi folks, I'm just gonna talk to you in the chat while we're waiting, and I'm just watching our lovely guest stars get set up. So hi everybody, how's it going? Y'all doing well today? I'm doing pretty good. How about you? That's good. Hi everybody, y'all doing well? That's good. Hi chat, how you doing? How long are we going today? Another 13 hours. 13 hours? 14 hours. Shit. Another 14 hours. That's like 13 hours plus 1. We're going until like 1:30 in the morning tonight. It is noon o'clock right now. So you got some time to come hang out with us. But this is going to be a great time where you can help us raise money for sick kids. Definitely stick around, hang out in our chat. It's all good. We're going to be going live in about 20 minutes with an episode of Hollow in the Gemgrams, a truly outrageous RPG, which should be a lot of fun. I am looking forward to it, and I hope you are as well. I am just getting things set up behind the scenes right now. Oh, my Batman joke. It's like, I can do a Batman joke, man. Like, oh no, that's right. No, everything's set up right. Okay, cool. Poop. I love it when I set things up and they're actually set up right the first time. That doesn't normally happen. And then I just need to grab one more dude for this. Where are you? Where are you, sir? I'm just talking to myself, guys. Don't mind me. So I hope you're all having fun today. This is the part of the program where you can literally ask me anything, and I'm too tired to not say it. So this is how you get my social security number, guys, right now. Where the hell are you, Jacob? Like, I normally have you in my list here, man. It's-a me. I'm a-coming. Alright, take your time, Ravnos. It's all good, man. Also, if you guys aren't watching Ravnos Archon run games over on mostly McStabber Studios, but you definitely need to head over there, check out his Mage the Ascension games. Like, honestly, I get to play Mage the Ascension under very few people. I get to play the game very seldom, and Ravnos Archon is one of the best storytellers I've ever played under. His games are always fantastic. You should really go check them out. Like, they're a lot of fun, and I was even in one on the channel. I don't know if it's on YouTube or something like that, but you should definitely go and check it out. Go enjoy it. It is a lot of fun, and there is a lot of 19. Ooh, there somebody got I got a donation. Somebody got a donation. What was the donation? Let's find out. Doot. It was boop 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 boop. What is the donation? Why was Mage the Awakening better again? It's not. Mage the Ascension is the better game. Do the Batman laugh. What is the Batman laugh? Is it like Okay, so Custom Blink, what is the Batman laugh? I need to know. So, like, what is the, like, haha. Yeah, what's up? Hot take. Hot take. Do you want me to unmute you so they can hear you? Okay, what's the hot take?
Hot take. One, how do you feel about Werewolf 5th edition? Because I think it's pure and utter garbage.
I did not, well, for one, I didn't buy it.
Okay, that's a smart move, my friend.
And I did not find a legal PDF of it to look through. So all I know about Werewolf 5th edition is that it exists.
Oh.
Okay. Why do you think it's hot garbage?
Well, they got rid of Gnosis.
What?
Yeah. Hold on.
Why don't they get rid of the wolf? Just have it beware the apocalypse.
Right. They got rid of Gnosis. And they don't let you go into the Umbra anymore. Like the Umbra physically does not want you to be part of its world, which, you know, for a creature that is half spiritual, half real.
What the frick? That's like half the game.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there like a meta plot reason for that, or did they just decide to get rid of half the setting like they did with Vampire 5th?
No. The meta plot reason is that Gaia has lost the apocalypse. Like you're in the heart of the apocalypse now, and Gaia's like painful shriek of hurt is that she doesn't want anybody in the Umbra.
That's dumb. I think that is dumb.
It is dumb.
I think that is very dumb. Jacob, the mics are hot right now because we're talking about how dumb something is.
Okay, can you hear me though?
We can hear you. Did you go turn off your auto gain?
Auto gain?
Yeah, so what you're going to do, you're going to leave. You're going to go into your options for ping, and you're going to turn off auto gain. It was in some of the instructions I posted.
Okay.
So go do that, and then come back in. It's under experimental settings. All right, now that Jacob's gone, let's talk about how nice he is. What a nice guy.
Yeah,
Jacob's,
what a good guy.
What a jerk. What a jerk. How dare he be that nice?
Right? I don't know him.
It makes the rest of us look bad. Let's get him. Also, let's see. Someone was asking in the chat, they paid for me to do a Batman voice. So like the laughing toy thing, like like that? Is that what you're thinking? Or did you just want like a all right, hold on. I need a cup of coffee for this. Because like a Batman laugh would be like, huh, I'm the Batman. Ha. You know, like it wouldn't be much of a laugh really. But I think Custom Blink is asking for like a okay.
Well, hello, bats.
How are we doing today?
Ooh, we're going to have some fun, are we?
That's really good.
Thank you. I had to drink some coffee and to become Mark Hamill. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. All right, welcome back, Jacob.
There we go.
Yay! Now you're not blowing out speakers. Oh, I laughed myself dizzy. I love it when that happens. Oh. So yeah, Werewolf 5th edition, huh? Here's a hot take that I think a lot of people are very critical of anybody that has criticism for new editions of games. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, well, you know, you just don't like the new game because you're old, or it's like, I don't really like Vampire 5th. I think it has a lot of design elements that are kind of cool. I think it has a lot of design elements that were pulled directly out of Requiem. Mm-hmm. And, you know, were basically just copied. I mean, I know that game design is an evolving form and no one really owns a patent on anything, but there were a lot of people who put a lot of work into some of those mechanics, and it'd be nice if there was a little bit of like, thanks to Requiem for leading the way, especially because Requiem gets shat on so much. Mm-hmm. But they changed a lot of core elements of the setting, like getting rid of the Sabbat. And it's like, I get your reasoning, and I get the reasoning of like installing the beckoning and trying to take out elders to make it a more ground level game. Yeah. But it doesn't really work because there's still only like, what, 13 primary generations before you get Thin Bloods?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So there's only so much you can do with that. You know, like, and it cuts down. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't.
And look, I'm not completely shitting on Werewolf 5th edition. Like, there are some things that I really enjoy about it.
Well, like the binding, like it's a solid book. Like it's
no, like that you can feel that it's like print to order paper.
Oh.
Yeah, even for like a fancy book that was brought to me from Gen Con proper. Like the fact that you can now shift into Hamid or Lupus for free is fantastic. Like that overdue.
Yeah, that makes sense. How many times? Yeah. Are we doing Victorian era? Sorry, Chad is asking if we're doing Victorian this weekend. Not this weekend. We're back in a couple weeks for that. Yeah. I think that makes sense. How many times when you were playing Werewolf the Apocalypse did you try to shift into Hamid or Lupus and then botch?
All the time.
Because that happened all the time for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just like end up in this weird quasi form where you've got like wolf legs and a man face. And you're like, what?
It's especially worse when you're like in Krenos form and you have all those bonuses to stamina. You're like, I got 3 extra dice. I'm gonna nail this. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I have issues with Werewolf the Apocalypse. It's actually the first game I ever ran. Like ever. And I just don't think it's that fun. Like, I think that the concept of, magic hippies for Gaia is kind of cool, but I like the mythology. I like everything that's in Werewolf the Forsaken a lot more, where you're spirit cops.
Yeah.
And that's the Sumerian mythology.
The thing that always got me for Werewolf is the layers, like the dynamics, because you have the politics of the pack, you have the politics of the spirit world, you have the politics of the sept, the politics of the tribe. Like, all the layers that it brought out were so interesting to me, that's why I really liked Werewolf out of the Holy Trinity, as they call it. And then I actually read Mage, and I was just like, I can do whatever I want. The rules allow it.
Seriously, the rules allow it.
And I was like, this is my jam.
Yeah, it's... Oh, we got another donation. Hold on, everybody. Let me find out what this donation was. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, $25 to Dixie Cochran. Good job. Also, if you like the Onyx Pathcast, Dixie Cochran's going to be one of the games later today, I believe. I believe they're in... Are they in the next one? I don't know. We'll find out. Hey, folks, I'm going to go do audio testing with my players here, or with Tasha's players, and we'll be back momentarily, so don't go anywhere. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Extra Life. We're about to hop into Game 2, Hollow and the Gemgrams, a truly outrageous role-playing game. I'm going to turn it over to the cast and crew in just one sec, but a quick reminder that all proceeds are going to Extra Life to benefit the Children's Miracle Network. A bunch of us are doing it to the BC Children's Network, BC Children's Hospitals, and so on. So every dollar you give, if you live in North America, is a tax-deductible donation. So please, please dip into your hearts, dip into your wallets, and let's go and raise some money for some sick kids. We're going to be turning it over to Natasha in just a minute. Don't go anywhere.